Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good day. Welcome to episode 15 of the Savage Tide, a Savage Tide actual play of the Adventure Path, 3rd edition, retooled to 5th edition here on the Greyhawk channel. Our host and game master, Eric. I'm Eric Vulgaris everywhere. Pronouns he or they. And yeah, I'm excited. We have a special guest today, and I know we haven't played in 2 weeks because of dumb stuff. So let's just get ready to rumble here. So let's just go through and introduce everybody, and we'll get into playing. Katie.
I'm Katie. I play Finian Cragwolf, the Knowledge Cleric. I use she/her pronouns, and my inspiration trigger is solve a problem through knowledge and understanding instead of through force. I think that was the one for last time, so that's always a good one.
Yeah. I'm Dempsey. He or they, at DempseyDMC on Twitter. I play Croc Monteau, Cursed Paladin of Istis, and my inspiration trigger of the day is call upon Istis to strike down their divine fate.
Perfect. I totally just bungled the cameras.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, man, what's going on?
I just tried to move the cameras out of the way and accidentally did it, and now I ruined it.
Good job.
I'll fix it.
We're cursed.
What, do I go next? Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Dave. I'm new here. Don't hurt me too much. I'm playing a... should I say, Eric?
Yeah.
Or should... Yeah? Okay. I'm playing a druid, Triton druid by the name of Molos Morze. I don't have an inspiration lined up right now, mostly because I completely forgot, and we made this character, 4 weeks ago?
Yeah, something like
that. Yeah, so, I'm just going to come in and do a thing.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kelsa. I use she, her pronouns, but playing Boshko, he's a half-orc barbarian and uses he, him pronouns and is probably going to kill stuff. And curse.
Okay.
And my inspiration trigger is use your size, physical might, or reputation in a fearsome manner.
I curse and I kill stuff, and I'm all out of things to kill.
Perfect.
All right. So let me do the quick recap because I know it's been a little while, and I had this prepared. As the Black Storm's crew looked for clues about Vanthus, the Shadow Pearls, and the demon prince behind it all, Demogorgon, their paths crossed with the second priest of Hieronius, Valor, and an unknowing host to a blue slod. After a harrowing fight with the slod that left the party all nearly dead, you all rested and packed up and sailed for what would hopefully be some answers. In a place called, I'm going to mess it up because I don't remember how to say it again, Caputer Manaki Cove, and try to talk to its Redcap denizens. But rather than just finding Redcap, the party found the cave to be a fortified encampment of Scarlet Brotherhood slavers. So the party snuck in under the cover of night, rallied the bloodthirsty Redcaps, and fought the slavers. However, during the fight, the leader of the slavers, a green slod in disguise, touched a wretched amulet, and both that villain and our beloved Captain Daquan teleported somewhere away. So in today's session, the party is about to find out a little bit more about Caputer Manaki Cove, and most notably that the battle for this cove and their lives has only just begun. So let's get ready to rock and roll. So the party, so like the camera kind of goes. It's a big huge scene of the cove. The fighting is over. You have captured some people. There's still smoke in the air. That's mixing with the finger trails of clouds and stuff as dawn is approaching. So like nice like violet, like yellow, gold, that whole like spectrum over the jungles of the Medio. Then the camera kind of comes down to the party. Yeah, what do you do before our Triton arrives? Anybody?
Did we see
Uh,
Daquan disappear?
Yes.
Is that where we're jumping in? Is Daquan just disappeared and Boschko's a javelin hits the space where the slot used to be?
Yeah, exactly. Like right where we left off last time.
And it's still like red caps going crazy around us?
Yeah, they're all just burning and pillaging everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Red caps were those for another image. They all have like giant like red little hat vis-a-vis over the garden wall. They just like evil terror gnomes with giant iron boots.
I used them in the viewer game the week after you did that and almost killed the whole party, so
Oh, perfect.
good inspiration.
Yeah. But yeah, red caps. They're all just running around stomping things and just being brutal as they do.
I think when Finny sees it, her eyes go wide, and she just looks back at Boschko and just says, "We got to get out of here."
Fine, come on.
And she's running and looking for Korik. Because
I'm
you
right
went
in front
off to
of
look
you.
at stuff. Were
No.
you right in front of me?
No,
Okay.
I'm right in front of you. But before we go, I want to go into that office place where the slot came out of, and I want to look for plans or something on the Scarlet Brotherhood. Is that what they are?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay with Finny. She needs the most help.
Okay.
Okay.
So let me ask you this question here, because this is going to be sort of like time of the essence. You only have a chance to look over and look through one of these two things before sort of like Malos probably like blows the horn and like you all are going to be like wondering why the hell there's a Triton here. So would you go over to like sort of like the captain's desk and sort of like peer through that, or would you kind of go through his personal effects in sort of like his like foot locker?
Ooh. The desk, because I think that's what that would be my focus more than a footlocker.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. So, you begin to scan through the desks. You kind of smash open some of the sort of like the locks. You just pull open with your strength the locked drawers. You find some correspondence. The most notable things that you begin to find is that you begin to see the roots of what looks to be like the blockade that's to our south here. So I don't have the maps on screen here. Just do that real quick so everyone can see it at home and see this game screen. So the Scarlet Brotherhood blockade. You get some information about the blockade and how it's set up. You know that there's usually 2 or 3 ships in sort of each of the channels, and you can get to know a little bit more like their routes and stuff like that, like their routes and some information there. And the best thing you can ascertain in this moment here is that, like tactically, you're like, oh man, that blockade's a serious business, and it's no joke.
Yeah. Okay. I take that. I grab that information, just like shove it in a pocket or my bag or something, and then go.
Okay. So then in this moment, there's Malos, how do you get people's attention? I imagine there's probably like like a conch shell horn or something like that, or is it more like subtle?
Am I unmuted?
You're unmuted. You're good to go.
Okay, good. Yeah. I'm getting so confused with the two things, by the way. I imagine it's just a simple case of so this is like a cove or a cave or something you mentioned?
Yeah. This is like a natural cove. It has sort of sea caves built into it. It was home to red caps, but it was recently a fort was put down here for the Scarlet.
And is this one of those caves that leads out into the ocean, like oceans inside the cave as well?
Yeah,
or?
exactly. Yeah.
So I imagine it's one of those ones where he'll come like swimming up and leap out of the water, and he will land on the cave floor. And if no one noticed his epic entrance, he will then take his staff and just the ground with it. And because it's a cave, I assume that there would be a nice thump and a nice echo, and maybe some sort of I don't know, just like loud resonance inside the cave.
Yeah, totally. So that's what everyone else hears. Like they hear a loud rapping of wood on stone in the cave.
Yeah,
Then
Finny,
you want me to
like,
check that out?
I think she stops and looks at you, Boschko. Yeah, I'll be right behind you. She's gonna let you go first.
Don't get lost.
I'm
And
trying really hard these days.
now he's faster than he used to be, so he goes running off and he outpaces you immediately.
He's trying. He's doing his best. I love him.
Yeah, so, and then Korik would probably be bringing up the rear later, leaving the captain's quarters stuff. So,
Yeah.
Henley, I would go ahead and describe what our characters see of Malos. Or
Okay.
Malos.
Well, if you guys aren't aware of what a trident looks like, it is almost like, how would you really describe it? It's kind of like a man cross like fish thing with blue skin.
You're describing Korik.
I don't.
But yeah.
Am I? Okay. All right. Well, so yeah, a trident is like almost like if mermaids were good looking, tridents would be the opposite of that, I would assume. They're very sort of more leaning towards the fish side of a merman than anything. Molos himself has he wears a crown of coral, I guess we decided, right? Or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a billowing cape, and his, I think it's resplendent armor that I have on. Yes, it's scale mail actually. So he has like the scales of like deep sea critters emblazoned across his chest. In his hands, he's holding a very ornate wooden trident, tipped with almost, I guess, like the trident point itself is like almost bone-like in quality, or something along those lines. And he just kind of looks very regal. Like his stance is like a one
Stoic.
of someone who stoic. That's a
Commanding.
great. Yeah, I wouldn't say commanding, but like, he has an air about him, essentially. Yeah.
Okay. So it doesn't look hostile. So this is what you see. You see exactly what Henley described. What do the three of you do?
Boschko doesn't know what to do with things that don't look hostile. He's the first one there, and so you see a large half orc with unruly curly hair and a bone sticking through the middle of his nose, and he's pointing a javelin at you. He's not wearing a shirt. That's important. But he does have like a sash, and that's the only thing across his chest, and a large belt holding up his pants and his boots. And he just like points a spear, like not spear, a javelin in your direction, and makes a growling noise.
Oh, I mean, Molos will stand his ground. He's not moving, but he's also not in any way set back by your barbarish display.
I'm picturing like the red caps and the pirates are still fighting in the background of the scene.
Exactly. Yep, very much so.
Finny comes running up after a couple of minutes behind, and she's got red hair pulled back, and one eye is yellow and one eye is blue, and she's wearing glasses. And the best part is she has this very shiny armor made of bug carcasses, like exoskeleton.
Mm-hmm.
And a cloak that is, if you look at it hard enough, it's sort of moving. It's sort of like Did we say it's octopus? Is that
It
what
is.
it is?
Yeah.
It sort of looks like an octopus moving. And she comes up and steps around Boschko, and since you're not like a threat, but you're standing your ground, she steps forward very hesitantly and with her hands up. Can we help
Boschko-
you?
Boschko definitely like puts a hand out to stop her from going more than like a half inch in front of him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can we help you?
He clears his throat and he puts his hands back on his side and he says, "Children of the land, I have come in seeking your aid." And he just sort of stands there just waiting for your response.
She looks over at Boschko.
He growls again.
She looks back at him. What?
Is
what
this some
kind
sort of arrangement that you have? Do I have to growl back at you? Is that how we do this? Because I
It
can.
would probably make him feel more comfortable, actually.
Very well, I
This
will
time his
growl
growl
back
is
at you.
directed at Finny.
Arrgh. How was that? Was that a greeting worthy of the land dwellers?
Where's Korik?
He was looking for something. What kind of aid do you need? We're sort of busy, and she points back at the fighting behind them.
Well, the only type of aid that you can give another person, I assume.
No, there's tons of aid you can give, but I don't know what kind you need.
A very specific kind, I'm afraid.
Do you need me to kill something?
He's really
He
good at that
looks up
kind
at the
of aid.
sky and he's just like, "Yes, I believe that would help."
Okay, so give us just 1 second. And she turns back at Boschko and like pulls him back a little bit. Has Korik come
Okay,
out
your
yet?
time is up. Would you like to leave
Yeah.
now?
I think.
Oh no, he's gonna be one of those.
I think as you pull Bashko back, Court comes running up to you guys, and he looks at the newcomer and he's like, "Who are you?"
Arrgh.
Okay, and then he looks at Finny. What's going on? We need to
He
go.
came out of the water and says he needs our help.
Aid specifically.
He wants me to kill something for him.
That kind of aid. We should probably,
Okay.
regardless, we should go.
Well, we need to go to the ship. So, you can come with us or stay. I don't care really. We gotta go. And do we still have water walking?
Your efforts in fighting the slavers have been, thus far, very good, I must admit, but your job is half done. There are more on the way. I perhaps suggest that you ready yourself.
I don't think it's been an hour. Water walk lasts for an hour.
Was water walk your spell or Daquan's spell?
Mine.
Okay, then yes. you
He
can still
did
walk
breathe
walk.
underwater.
Okay, yeah, you can still water walk.
Because I don't have breathe underwater, so I knew water walk was mine.
No. Give me. There's an easy answer here. You need to make a Constitution check. Just make. This is a concentration thing when you get hit by the fireball. If you lost it or not. Like, let's. Just
It's not a concentration spell.
Oh, never mind. You're good then. Cool. I just imagine long spells are concentration, so I didn't know that.
Nope.
Thank you. Cool. Yeah. So never mind. You're fine. Okay.
But don't try to play me, Eric. I know you.
Yeah, I do.
But yeah, so I think Finny's just looking at the stranger. We have a ship. Just come with us, and we'll work all this out. And she's running past, going back out because they've got to get to their ship.
All right. Do I know where their ship is, Eric? I assume I would, right?
Yes, absolutely. You came
So
here-
I'll just jump back in the water and swim
Yeah.
there.
You came here with your pack, with your pod of companions,
Yeah, I say pod assemble, and then we do.
So, just for me, was this the dolphins we saw earlier that says pod? Oh, I love it.
You put that together.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's also worth
Um,
pointing out I have like a face blemish or something like that, right, Eric?
Yep.
Or something. Yeah. Mm.
Yep.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like, so we have a quick scene of just like the montage scene of like you guys running across the water and like the sun's coming up, and like next to you are just like these hopping up and down dolphins, swimming by your side.
Boschko runs back to the boat and jumps on it first and starts preparing to sail.
These are normal dolphins, but there's something about them. There's something like, there's something keen about their best word to say it, like familiarity with each other. There's something like they're like you get the sense that they're almost like they remind you a lot of like soldiers. Like they remind you a lot like they've been through a lot. Like you see like some of them like have scars and stuff together, you know, but they've all just been there's like a very good strong camaraderie effect about them. They're strong warriors. You get the impression these there's more to than meets the eye than just a simple dolphin.
Yeah, I mean, you look at them and you can almost see eye patches and stuff like that. So
yeah, they're very good. Yeah, so then the camera continues and it goes and it just swipes over to the Black Storm. Right, the Black Storm is still set up there. Everyone has been kind of waiting on deck. All of the bull sharks are been just kind of like eager. And you probably hear like the first things from them being like, "Come on, tell us it's time that we can plunder. Come on, we've been so bored."
In the middle of the place, Vinny steps forward and looks at everybody and says, I'm sorry to announce, but our Captain Blackcell is gone?
What? And everyone kind of looks at each other and back like, "What did you do?
He's not dead!
What did you do at Daquan?"
It was bullshit magic.
What did you do with Daquan? He got lost!
And that's probably the most truthfully disarming thing they've ever heard, like from you of all people. That's perfect.
Look, we don't know what happened. I'm sure he's not dead. Something happened with the stone and he disappeared, and I think this means I'm your captain now.
They look at you and they're not sure. They kind of like
she's
do.
not
They
sure
kinda,
either.
Yeah, Boschko has his javelin in hand, and he just like points it at the rest of the crew and is like, "Listen to her."
The deal. Yeah, like, whoa, like we're not. Come on, let's be reasonable here. But the deal was that we were working under Daquan.
I understand that.
Desolate Pearl told us that we should listen to Daquan.
No, I understand that. And Daquan made me first mate for reasons I'm not really sure of. And I know nothing about running a ship. But I can promise you that I'll be fair. And the minute we make it back to... I forgot where we came from. The minute we make it back to Sassarin or wherever you want to go, you're free to go, but we're sort of out in the middle of nowhere. And we have a very important mission that we need to finish.
Let's go with Boschko. Can you make an intimidation check, right, as you try to like get those people in line? Or maybe let's persuade. I'm not sure, like persuade strength. Like I don't. Depends on how you play that, right? Intimidate strength.
I mean,
like, yeah, it's not intimidate.
I feel like
strength,
I feel like it's intimidation. I mean, if I could throw strength in there, that would be great, but I can't.
You would have to do something physical to like that would
He just picks Finny up and throws her at him.
That would be like
okay.
That's
Here we go.
Like,
here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
After I made my threat with my spear, I just start completely by myself, like pulling the sail which is like normally a job for like 2 people or 3.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm just like,
we don't
I'm just
need
like,
you. Fine.
fucking
like,
going.
do what he says, or we're just gonna do this ourselves. Exactly. And you're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, they don't actually need us because you're so strong. Totally, that's totally true. I'm
all
cool
right.
with that.
Cool. Okay, so roll 1d20 plus 8.
17. Okay, cool. Yeah. They listen. But is anyone gonna tell them about the ships?
That's not my job.
Yeah. So Finn, you get the impression that like they're not willing to. They're like, let's table this. You know, like there's that sort of like, okay, we're cool for now, but we need to like hash this out at some point, right?
Yeah, she
Like,
before like everything is done, she looks at all of you. You'll still get paid. I promise.
They look at each
And
other
then
and yeah.
She lets it go, and she turns when everyone like begins to filter out. She turns back to Korik, Boschko, and Molos, and she looks at him and says, I'm Finian. It's nice to meet you. This is Korik and Boschko.
I do. Molos does a very deep bow, and he says, I am also happy to have greeted you both, all 3 of you. Not both of you, 3 of you.
I think one of the bull sharks, like one of the Marines, says,
Hmm.
Captain Finian.
Oh, I don't like that. You can just keep calling me Finny.
Hi, Captain. Goes back to the rigging, helping
No.
Boschko. Or more like just getting out of Boschko's way.
She really doesn't like it. You can just all written all over her. She's like, oh no.
My name is the Grand Champion Molos Morse of the Protectorate of the Great Coral Reef. It's a
Do we
pleasure
have to
meet
say
you.
all of that every time?
It is the custom.
I'm just gonna call you Molos.
Yeah.
The middle of pulling rope, Boschko just grunts.
I mean, you'll be glad if you get a name out of that one. She points at Boschko. So, she like points toward. Didn't Daquan like have a captain's quarters kind of
Yeah.
thing?
You kind of
she
all
points
shared
to-
one, but yeah.
Okay, like it had because we said it had like the big table with the map
Yeah.
on it. Yeah, she points toward that. Let's all go talk in there, and begins
not
leading
trust-
everyone.
Do you not trust the people you hire to run this vessel?
Well, one, I didn't hire
Really
them.
hired.
It wasn't me. And
They were sort of
two-
given to us.
Are they slaves?
Oh no, they're getting paid a lot of money. And 2, I get really seasick and it gets worse when I have to see the ocean. I prefer to just be indoors as much as possible.
I don't understand. What is this seasick you talk about?
Oh, you don't want to know. She's already walking toward the office and just already turning a little green now that she's back on the boat.
All right. He will follow. Ducking because the crown is so high, I assume.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I also want to reiterate, like, these ships will be here, like on the horizon, like any.
Yeah, that's what she wants to talk about. She wants to know what they need to do.
'Cause you haven't told the crew anything about that.
She doesn't
Okay.
know how, Eric.
I know. Okay, I just want to be clear. Like I hope I wouldn't gloss over it. Just
Look, we are all a bunch of disasters.
Yeah, that's fair.
Literally, Josh was the only one with any sense to keep us going.
So, all right. So cut to everyone being in the in your sort of like war room / bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay, tell
I'm
us
standing
more.
around. So I'm standing around looking at your seats or something, and I'm incredibly confused as to their purpose.
Boschko is still out there working to get the ship up ready to sail, unless you specifically told him.
She like said, Boschko, come on.
Oh, and, like,
you came or not?
and
he wasn't
like
gonna force you.
he like lets go of a rope and like the sail starts fish, and then he like grabs it again with one hand and then hands it to someone, and then they like
They like start
almost
dangling
go flying,
Yeah.
and then and then like 2 more people have to grab it, and then he goes in there. But there's that whole scene first.
Absolutely.
So, Molos, tell us what's going on in detail.
Very well. My reef has been taken away from us. Eric, remind me who was the gentle folk that took it from me?
The Hogwin?
Sahagwin, thank you. Yes.
Okay.
The Sahagwin. I believe you might have had some dealings with their kind before. I request aid that you come and help me deal with them from my great reef. I have watched you from afar for a while now, and you seem the type of land dwellers that would be very helpful in this cause.
Okay, well, how about this? We'll help you if you help us with these ships that are coming to... They're probably going to try to kill us. I mean,
Yes.
you are very partial to the
Most
water.
likely, if they're slavers, they would probably try and take you and sell you, most likely.
I'll kill them.
That's also not good. But you're good in the water. That's a that's a point for us. If you'll help us, we can help you. I think that's fair.
He'll sort of like maybe go to a window and look out and go back to the table and say, "Very well, I accept these terms. Straight after, you will accompany me to the Great Reef, yes?"
Well, here's the thing. The ships are going to be here in hours, if that. So we probably need to handle this problem first. And then we'll go
Yes.
straight to the Great Reef afterwards.
That
You
is what
have-
I was saying. I will help you with this, and then we will go straight away, yes?
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally heard it backwards. I'm so sorry. Yeah, then we'll take care of these ships and we'll go to your reef and we'll help you. You'll have any help we can give you. And
Excellent. Then I will murder your fellow land dwellers.
that's all we ask. And she walks to the door and stands in front of the closed door and takes a... Okay, I have to go tell the crew. And she walks out. And I think she goes to the one that called her captain.
Boshko is just shadowing her.
Oh, God.
Me too.
She's so nervous.
You're the small human woman with 2 giant half orcs behind you. One of them is half fish.
She goes to the one that called her captain and she says, "We have a bit of a problem. There are 2 slaver ships coming to kill us. Like right now."
My gods. And they look at each other and they all go, oh, what do we do? Do we run? Do we fight? Please say.
I think we should fight.
Good.
I don't think we have time to run.
I say, you wanted to pillage, now's your time to pillage.
All right.
Great idea.
These are Scarlet Brotherhood ships, bound to have plenty of supplies.
I mean, we didn't buy cannons for just to look at. We bought them to use.
Yeah. All right. So here's how it's gonna work.
Oh no.
We're doing a little bit of mass combat here. The way this is gonna work is that you're gonna have 2 ships coming at you. You have 1, but also not on this map though. Add them. You have Henley's out of.
The D-boys.
I thought I made a handout instead of a character. I can't drag it onto. about this big.
They should be.
They're that big in our hearts. But yeah, let me put on some appropriate music, appropriate dangerous tune. But yeah. So cries go out as two 3-masted caravels about the same size as your ships are coming towards you. You can see their red sails. They are the Scarlet Brotherhood indeed. You don't know this, but I think the camera kind of cinematically cuts to sort of like mostly kind of like looking up from the wake of the water of these ships, and you can see like the dire eel written on one of them, and then the camera like continues over, and behind it is the other ship, Molly's Dagger. As both of these also have battle-hardened crews to attack. You see them like kind of getting ready to and preparing for battle. You can see the crews beginning to load their own cannons. Both these ships have at least one set of cannons that you can see. So get ready. What's going to happen is I need a couple things from everybody. The first thing here is that when we do naval combat, I need people to sort of like volunteer for certain roles. And what that's going to look like here is let's open up the dock. And it's kind of like I'm following a lot off Stars Without Number here. So like one of you is going to be the captain, which is probably Finn, right? Because de facto captain. Then we need someone who's going to be the first mate. The first mate's sort of like the gunner and the person who's supposed to kind of like execute the captain's order. The next thing under that is then the bosun or the boatswain. You're sort of like the person responsible for the sort of like engines of the ships, quote unquote. So like the sails and rigging. Mostly like repairs, and then there's the navigator, and the navigator is responsible for like maneuvering the ship, either like putting it out of combat or getting closer to ships for like boarding and stuff, as well as sort of taking evasive maneuvers.
Did I successfully learn vehicles water?
Yeah, you
I
did.
think I did. Yeah, okay, there it is. I see it now. Cool. Great, yes. So I gonna be navigation boy?
I was thinking that for sure. Because I remember you got that skill.
Yeah. I will post it in Discord so that things are listed there. But basically what's going to happen here is you're going to be commanding sort of like the captain's going to be sort of commanding and giving people the ideas here of like, hey, so and so like, and you sort of deliver the order of like the first mate goes navigator, you know, like you give the order of operations on but like to say, for example, fire your guns, you need to do what would be like getting your first mate to fire the guns, which requires a resource called command point. So the idea here is that you have to do things to generate command points, and then you can use those to sort of do special tasks. The way you generate command points, the most common ways of doing it is, well, the leader can do something that after you take some damage, you can take a crisis and like kind of like quickly gain things. But anybody can do what's called above and beyond. That's like describe how you're pushing yourself to like help the ship at this moment. And it's going to be against and whatever you're doing, it's kind of like a skill challenge, right? You tell me what you're doing. Against a DC 20, if you succeed, you gain 1d4 plus 1 CP. If you fail, you get just a minus 1 CP, lost CP. Like it didn't work. Like high risk, high reward. If you just say like you're doing your duty, then there's no required. You just gain a command point, right? Or you can deal with a crisis, which is always like a crisis are sort of like special things that happen to your ship. So for example, like if you had cargo damage or like your rigging or mast damage, some crew were lost, that kind of thing. As always, because I know this is the first time we're doing it. If there's any kind of questions, let me know. But the general idea here is very much that like you do, like because I know Henley has played Stars Without Number before, so they can kind of help. But like the idea here is that work together, figure out a plan to like attack these ships. And the big thing to know also is that if you take damage to your ship and stuff like that, you can always try to negate the damage. You can negate the damage by accepting one of these crises. Roll randomly a d6. to see which
Also,
space is
the
happening.
ships are going to be in different phases, so you have to guess the phase we're shooting into, right? That's how
Yeah.
that works.
No, we're not doing that. But some other examples of going above and beyond. You know how I described like it's typical DC 20. If you could like cast a spells, like for example, Dempsey, when Korik cast Shield of Faith on the ship, and like you did that religion check to do it, that would be kind of like also going above and beyond. So like spending like doing some kind of like special spell or some kind of thing like that also kind of represents going above and beyond. To give you guys give everyone here an idea of kind of what I'm talking about. So a lot of it's sort of like kind of vague in general. But yeah, so I think the first thing to do here is to make sure everyone sort of has a role. Henley, you have a special ability as Molos, like
Sweet.
that's independent from whatever thing you choose, because you can command your dolphin.
Hell yeah.
Right.
And I also, like, because I have some big booty butts I can swap into, so, like,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about the move speed in the water here in comparison. So what is the 5 foot radius actually?
I'm not really like super into like the movement tactical stuff, so like it can just be more like abstracted, right? Like we don't have to worry about that. The idea though is that unless someone tells me otherwise, your ships are kind of like staying at a distance, doing the best sort of like evasion, lining up your shots kind of thing, but no one's like getting close to attack until like someone's really wounded, right? So the idea is that if you would transform into the ships, generally you're about 150 feet away, like generally, because that's like sort of like max range of like ideal of your guns. So that the idea is like you're kind of like a couple rounds away, like two rounds away if you. Right?
Okay, so
This isn't the squares aren't lined perfectly, right?
no, I get that. If you move them back 5 more foot, then technically it's on the same measurements. So every 5 foot will be what is it?
15.
Yeah. 15 meters, I think. Yeah. And you might even be able to change the scaling in Roll20 as
Yeah,
well.
I know I
make
could totally
it-
change the scaling. I just didn't do it because I just quickly made this.
Yeah.
But the general idea here is that like you're mostly going to be kind of like firing and stuff from this point, and then trying to get close, attacking. What's going to happen then is when you want to fire, you're going to attack using Matt Koval's Stronghold and Followers rules. That's when you're going to look at the bull sharks stuff and you're attack. So like for example, they attack with a +2, and then you're trying to attack, and you can tell me you're either attacking the ship or you're trying to like target like the crew, that kind of thing.
Do they have like chain shot and stuff like that? Like what type of cannon work do we have?
They have 2 light cannons.
Okay.
The other ships each have 1 light cannon. So I think
No
the best thing
flamethrowers?
to do, because I know everyone's kind of like just looking a little like, oh my god, I just threw this at you. The best thing to do is just fictionally tell me what you want to do, and then we can like figure out how that works, just like anything. Okay. So the first thing to do would be figuring out roles. I posted the orders of the ship's stuff in Discord, the roles and sort of. So Finn, you're the captain. You need to immediately field promote someone to first mate, should you want. But then you also need a navigator and a bosun.
I think she would put Korik up as first mate, make Bashka the navigator, and ask Molos to be the boatswain.
Okay.
Outside of the fact that I have no idea how to do anything on a boat,
How to row
that makes perfect sense to me.
Yep. Well, Finny doesn't either, so join the club.
Yeah, so it's perfect because you don't know, so that's perfect. Okay.
You think she knows how to be a captain?
Absolutely not. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So the idea here is that we need to accrue CP and then decide where we want to spend that CP, essentially. So things like what is it? Where's the firing of the guns? Where did you get that under? Okay, so firing all the guns, for example, is 3 CP, and firing 1 is 2. So it's it's simply a case of like we each get a turn to do something every turn, and the idea is that we want to accrue CP. So the accruing them are generally in the general section, right?
Yeah, they're general. That's what I was describing earlier with like doing your duty
Yeah.
just gives you 1, but if you do the above and beyond, you can gain more. So yeah,
Mhm.
so the idea here is that the captain gets to choose how to gain extra CP. You choose at the excuse me, I should rephrase it. The captain gets to choose has like final say over like the order of captain, first mate, navigator, bosun, the order of things, how you want people to act, right? So for example, the captain can be like, I think it would be good if the first mate's probably going to want to fire, right? And you talk to Core, get those guns trained, kind of thing, right? If that sounds good, then you could be like, cool. Then I'm going to do something like I'm going to do my duty. I'm going to order the first mate to get those guns ready and like earn 1 point of command, and then that could be like the captain's thing. Captain can order like the next person to go. I'd be like either the navigator or bosun, like also gain command points, and so then the first mate can something like that, right? Is that all making sense at all? The idea is that like the captain.
Can you refresh my memory? Do the command points reset at the end of the round, or do
Yeah.
we get to move them forward?
No, I think they reset.
Thank you.
They do reset, yeah.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to clarify that since it was not mentioned at all.
So on your turn, the idea is that like you all are trying to like get enough points to try to complete an action, like a big kind of thing. Either like firing maybe 1 gun, 2, or maybe it's like trying to evade, trying to get close, because they might be better off just fighting and that kind of stuff. It's totally okay to say like I don't know what's going on. At any
I
point.
mean, I 100% don't know what's going on, but I'm trying to read the rules and I can figure out what's going on, hopefully.
Yeah, no problem.
I think I understand.
There's a problem. I just literally chucked this at you all. It's not like this was planned, really. But
Eric, if that's the case, then if the CP resets, then there's no way we can escape combat at all because there's only 4 of us.
Well, we
always do above and
can
beyond.
if I do. We can if I do like the support department as first mate, because one action that department choose a role, and one action that department takes will require 2 fewer command points.
Uh-huh. There you go.
Could
Right.
escape combat.
So like a general thing that I see that I kind of like move some stuff around from the Stars Without Number here is that like the captain can order the first mate to like, do something, and that's sort of like, hey, first mate, like you should totally help out so and so, kind of thing. Like you're the person, like the captain doesn't really do the thing. You're the one who helps the first mate do the thing, right? Like you're the one who tells the first mate. The first mate's really kind of like the person who is responsible for the sort of the tactical level. Captain's more like the general strategic top-down part. So like a captain, like so for example, like Katie, to help you out, to give you like an idea to what you could do right away, would probably just be doing your duty, right? And that would be like telling like, okay, everybody kind of get ready, and that could just, you gain the ship at 1 command.
Okay.
Right? And so then the next thing that would happen, so yeah, so are we cool with doing that for the first part as sort of like a walkthrough, as like an example of just you doing that for Finny?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have 1 command point, right? The next thing up is then Katie, you have to decide, and other people should be chiming in here, if you want like the navigator or bosun or first. I think to help decide here is like, do we want to say fire our guns? And if we do, then we need to figure out a way to get either an additional CP or 2 additional CP to fire both your guns and attack twice, or just fire 1 of your guns and attack. And so the simplest way of doing this would be then Elsa and Dempsey being like, cool, well then we're just going to also do our duty, get everything ready, right? And if we get everything ready to go, then we can do our duty, getting 3 CP, and the 4th one, our first mate, can fire. Excuse me, I meant Henley and Elsa. Then Cork would be like, cool. Then I spend my turn firing as That makes sense. So like you basically 3P.
That sounds pretty good to me.
3 CP, and then you
Yeah.
spend a 3P to attack twice.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Cool. Then Korik, as first mate, you get to make you get to make 2 attack rolls here. And because you're attacking, you can either use your attack bonus, or you can use the crew of the the bull sharks who are manning your cannons here, right? Being like fire kind of thing, right? And or you could be taking more of a direct roll and like kind of like helping them shoot, and using your attack bonus is probably better. So for example,
Yeah, it definitely is.
yeah, the bull sharks attacking from cannons is only a +2, so yeah, it's probably.
Yeah. I'll use mine because mine is quite high.
Okay. Cool. So then, where are you going to direct your shots? Are you directing shots at the dire eel, or are you directing your shots at Mali Dagger? Or are you splitting your shots? What are you doing?
We're just gonna shoot them both at the same one, so we're gonna shoot the dire eel.
Okay. Cool.
So that, yeah.
Okay. So then, what you need to do is you need to make an attack roll, and the idea is that you're trying to go against the toughness of. Are you attacking the ship, or are you trying to attack sort of like the crew and people? Like, are you trying to sink the ship, or are you trying to like neutralize the ship? Does that make sense?
That one's tougher. Cause we want them supplies. We're pirates now. Well, there's 2 of them, so you know what? We're gonna try and sink the dire eel, and we'll take the Molly's dagger for ourselves.
Okay. Cool. So you're attacking the dire eel twice. So you're attacking the ship. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Then make me 2 attack rolls using attack bonus.
Okay. Is it if I use, oh yeah.
This would be a
sorry.
ranged attack, so you're using your dexterity plus your proficiency.
Yeah, there it is.
Puppy.
Well, here's a question: Are you proficient in cannons? Do you have vehicle water?
I can tell you that I don't have vehicle water.
Okay, then I don't think you actually have your proficiency. Because like you're also like figuring out how cannons work. Then you're just using your dexterity.
Then we're gonna use the bull sharks rolls because that's higher than the dexterity.
Fair enough. Okay. Yep. Okay, so they attack with actually. So I messed up here. They attack with a +3 on their attack roll.
Oh, cool.
Okay,
Yep.
so they have +3
That'd be high.
instead of +2. That's because they're actually siege weapons and they
Okay. All right, so D20 +3.
Mhm.
15.
That's a hit.
Hell
So
yeah.
you're going to do because you're firing the first set of cannons. Attack again too, and we can see. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a crit.
That's a crit.
Okay. Cool. So then 2 things happen here. Each of these hits does a d6 point of damage. The crit. The crit here's an option for because you critted. You can either double your damage here and do another d6 point of damage to them, or you can force them to have a crisis. Just how you can have a crisis. What sounds better here?
What do we think, team?
So crises are cargo damage, rigging mass damage, gun damage, cell damage, VIP risk, or crew loss.
Okay.
It's rolled randomly. The idea is that,
it's out of those.
Yeah, ships have 22 hit points, right? So each hit you're shooting right now does a d6 point of damage.
I think we should just double the damage.
You think we should double the damage?
Yeah.
And so just roll 3d6 for damage.
Yeah, just roll
What
3.
if-
I think you should roll 3d6.
What if we did gun damage? Then that ship couldn't shoot at us.
No, it's rolled randomly. We don't know if we'll get gun damage.
Oh.
Those were just the options that Eric could roll for the crisis.
Okay.
I think it might be safer to just do 3d6
Oh, you know
and
what? I'm
hope that
sorry.
you roll.
Yeah.
You roll good.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna do 3d6.
Yeah, because you're just attacking the ship and not the crew. So it's just if you hit them, They don't have a power, so they don't have to roll against the defense of them. That is just
Mhm.
a hit against their damage. So
Okay.
Oh my god!
okay.
What?
So that's a 6, right?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yikes.
What?
This is.
Why? It happens every time.
Yep.
Listen, Korik is really great at hitting things. With his great sword, and that's about it.
So what happens here? So what this looks like, right, is like you have a good shot at them, and you think you know what you're doing, and it just like rips right through the main sail, right? But doesn't really do too much damage. Cool. You just have to aim it just a little bit lower for maximum damage. Cool. So then they're gonna go here.
I'm
Both
so
these ships-
salty right now.
And
It
let's
wasn't
see.
even your dice roll.
I know, but I'm still salty.
True. They
Ugh.
always die. Okay, their reverse attack with. Ooh, first one shoots short. And the Molly's dagger fires and also misses. So boom, boom, splash as the cannon fire hits in front of the Black Storm. Okay, it's your turns again. Are we doing the same thing again? Do you want to do, or do you want to mix it up and try something different, like improve your defense or anything, or do you just want to get in an attack?
So this is my suggestion, is that Molos and Korak and me do our duty, and then we do evasive maneuvers and make our defense rating 4.
That's just for that round though. It goes back after.
Yeah.
I know, but doesn't it? It'll be 4 for when they attack, won't it? Our defense
Yeah, it
rating will
would
go
be-
up 4
yeah,
when
it
they
would be-
attack.
it'd be higher.
Yeah. So they'll try to. It'll be higher if they try to attack us the next round.
That makes sense.
Our AC, our AC would be +4, basically, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. You just have to roll a DC 15.
That's hard. That's okay. I'll use my inspiration though. I can do it.
Okay.
I mean, is that cool with y'all?
Let's get it.
Because I have this feeling in my gut that Eric's not gonna fail next time.
Okay.
we always get one free one. But if you guys have any other ideas, I'm open to hear them completely. That's just what I was looking at.
Yeah.
Well, the best defense is a good offense, in my opinion. If there's less targets shooting at us in the long run, that's better.
What I want to do, although this is not necessarily what Bajka wants to do, is try to circle around so that we don't have both the dial eel and Molly coming at us straight on. That like the Molly is behind the dire eel and is going to have to come past them to get to us.
Yeah. So basically, you're trying to make it so it's awkward for both of them to shoot you.
Yeah, or at least for one of them to shoot us, so that we're only facing one of them at a time instead of both of
Yeah,
them.
totally.
basically.
So like if you kind of like, because the ships are gonna try to circle each other, like you're not just standing still, right? Like you're probably like going like kind of this way, and then that means they have to go
Yeah.
kind of like this way, which is gonna block off Molly Dagger from trying to shoot you.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Okay,
that's
cool.
that's the plan.
Right. So yeah, so you guys are kind of going that way, and these guys are trying to go this way, and like they're getting line of shot kind of up on. Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. So trying to make the test, right?
Okay. So in your document it says it would be navigation tools, but you have me
It's
training on
vehicle
vehicles
C.
water for
Vehicle
this.
C.
So.
Yeah, it's
okay.
water vehicle.
Cool,
That's
cool.
totally right.
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna use my inspiration and get advantage on this roll, as I'm like hard to port and
Whoa, you critted it. Yeah, okay, natural 20 on this
I
check. Nice. Yeah, exactly.
All
Right.
right.
And so like we had that scene, it's that shot of like the ship like doing like a hard turn, right? As you're and like you're so like you're kind of like we're kind of going straight at him. You're like no hard port, and like so the ship like you grab the rigging. The ship kind of like turns real hard. We hear like the kind of the creak, and everyone's like heave, and like the sail comes out, and gets blasted with buffeted by a bunch of wind. As like the ship like begins to like cruise and gain a little bit of a short little sprint of speed as
Nice.
it begins to go 25-ish degrees. There's no way for me to check, but yeah, roughly that way. 270, 300 angle.
Nice.
Yeah, awesome. So now you're much more difficult to hit. I think what will because I'm doing this live. I don't think, and because they're attacking a ship doesn't really have a defense. It's rather, I think it just gives them disadvantage.
Okay.
So,
That's fine. We just wanted to be harder to hit. Was
Absolutely.
basically, I think, either way that it
Yeah,
went, they
absolutely.
just wanted to be harder to hit.
Yeah. So the Diarrheal and Molly dagger both have disadvantage on because
Cool.
of this. Yeah. No, that's a miss. Oh, I dropped lowest one instead of keeping the dropping the highest. So that's actually a 12, and that's
Sweet.
right. So like they kind of like have dialed their guns kind of where you were, and so we just kind of like see when you like extra shots like hitting like behind where you're gaining speed.
Cool.
All right, back to you. What do you do?
I think now we should, because we've gotten out of the way, I think now we should go back to what we did first round and
Fire.
back to
Yeah.
us doing our duty and then letting Quark fire, if that's cool with everyone.
We have that sort of moment of like, so like the ships are beginning to kind of like circle each other here, right? And now you can have your front and back cannon like trained on them because now you're getting outside, right? As you guys are zooming past each other. Just everyone doing their duty, so the first mate can fire twice.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Is that cool with everyone?
I mean, I'm a guest on this ship for the most part, so sure.
No, I would totally. If you want to do something else, please tell me. I just
No, it's fine. I'm not making any points. It's fine. We'll just go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Yeah, and when you reduce the dire eel's health by a certain amount, they have to make a morale save here.
Okay.
So it's not
cool.
like just a fight to the death.
Okay. Cool.
Roll that beautiful Bane footage, Quark.
A 15 is a hit.
And another crit.
Another crit.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Guys, are those the same rolls from the last time? They are.
Hey, you roll-
It's the exact same roll.
Oh my god, you're a god.
Are we all going toward the dire eel, or both of them going to the dire eel again?
Yeah, they're both going to the diarrhea because I want to get one out of the way before.
If
we
you roll a
take
1,
on
2,
the
3 again, I'm leaving this game.
So
I'm
you're
done.
doing more damage.
other.
Right?
Finny jumps off the ship. Do we want to roll for a crisis this time? Because I think that might be fun.
Sure, let's do it.
Yeah, give him a
I mean, there's a
crisis.
chance you could just straight up kill the captain of the ship, right?
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
I think you should do 1d6 and a crisis.
Well, we get 2d6 and a crisis, right?
Is it
Or
2d6? and-
It's 2d6. It's 2d6 and a crisis. Like you
Oh,
are
okay,
going,
yeah,
you're
do
going to
2d6.
do damage. It's just a whether or not you want to do an additional d6 points of damage,
Yeah.
or if you
Cool,
want to
cool.
do-
Yeah, do
force a
2d6 and a
crisis.
crisis.
Okay, so
Do
this
damage.
is for the that's the damage.
God damn it,
That's the same as
Dempsey.
what you did.
And then I roll a d6 for the crisis.
Yeah.
Okay. 2. Rigging mass damage.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So you hit once again. Like you hit like the mast, right? And so like we can see like the sails go wild and begin flapping off the ship as the mast is struck and hits some of the rigging. Yeah, and that ship is not doing great at all. We hear it kind of like even from where you're at, hundreds of feet away, you can hear the sort of like the strain of the ship and like the whipping of the thing. It's no longer really easy to. It like immediately slows down, begins making it like easy.
Mm-hmm.
Furthermore, you have forced it to make a morale save here. because you've been obliterating it. Morale of its. That's exactly what it needed. So it still perseveres. But yeah, they're not going to be able to fire, as they're probably going to be dealing with their crisis. And then Molly. So that means Molly gets to fire at you. This time they don't have disadvantage. They're getting ahead of the dire eel as the dire eel like gets. So yeah, so like the mass of the dire eel gets hit. It slows down, and then like from the sort of silhouette of the dire eel, Molly's dagger like peels ahead. And unleashes a volley of cannon fire. That one will hit the Black Storm. So here you're gonna take some damage here from the cannon. You can either do two things. You can either take the damage on the chin on your ship, or you can agree at the start of the next turn to just kind of either try to take a crisis instead of the damage.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if we can either do a crew loss crisis, right?
Yeah. So what you can do here is, you can
And get a command point.
You gain
or
your
we
charisma
can-
+1 command points. Or you can do what's called keep it together, where you nullify that hit that I'm about to roll and just do a crisis instead.
I mean,
really-
it's a D6, or do you guys want to take a crisis, or what do you want to do?
You have 22 hit points. You're not in danger of like your ship. being
Yeah,
super
we have been
damaged,
hit. This is our first hit. I think we can. I think we can take one hit.
Yeah, let's take it to get started.
And almost max damage, of course. Almost max damage. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
It's cool.
it's okay. It hits nothing. It just destroys some of your let's just say it's a solid like hull shot, but nothing super ruined. It like rips through the ship, right?
Yeah.
The dire eel's kind of stuck because they don't have any rigging. But then Molly's dagger shoots and yeah, successfully connects to your ship, goes through your hull. But it doesn't like destroy anything. It's something non-vital. All right, back to you all. What do you do?
Y'all want to keep firing on the dire eel? We've got it down. It's over half health.
Yeah, I think firing at the dire eel at this turn you would have advantage because it's basically kind of stuck in the wall.
Okay,
Do it.
let's do that.
Yeah, I think everyone does
Finalize.
does
Do
their
my
duty, and then fire all guns at the dire eel.
Yeah. So you said we get advantage on that?
Yeah, you have advantage on these attacks.
Okay, cool.
Hits.
So
Hits.
there's the first one.
Yeah.
Oh,
that you did it together or separate. Yeah, first hit. Yeah, 22. Yeah. Hits.
I didn't have that code
Yeah.
copied in my thing real quick.
D6. Yeah. And second attack isn't a lot. The second one misses.
No.
Second one misses, but the first one connects. So do another D6 points of damage.
2.
But
Why?
they've taken more damage, so that means they have to make another morale save. And they fail.
Great.
They are done.
Do we just see them jumping overboard into the water?
No, they're not jumping overboard. But they're clear, yeah. They're just going to try to get out of here because their ship's hurt. So they're going to do a D20. This is their attempt at trying to fix their ship. No, the mast is just blowing in the air, and in fact, probably like the main part of the sail like just flies off of like their main mast. All they have is their little like sails. Yeah, it's real bad.
Mhm.
In fact, the whole mast kind of like tips over. Let's just say that like the whole thing in the middle tips down. It's not in good shape at all. They are stuck and they come back. Cool. Then Molly go. Molly's going to move in. I'm just following this diagonal. Another cannon shot fires at you.
Oh my
Ooh,
god.
that one does connect.
Yikes.
Or 1 point of damage.
Great. They're rolling as bad as we are.
Well, at least something is going in our favor.
You've taken 6 points of damage. You can take up to 6 more points of damage before your ship is at half. Okay, and that means you have to make your own morale. Right, the
That's
ship's like, "Let's
fine.
get out of here."
Do we want to fire or do we want to evade? Or do we want to try to repair this round?
I think we should fire.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Fire away.
Okay. Yeah, then I think do the same thing. We're going balls to the wall.
11 and 12.
Wait, you weren't attacking the dagger. You were attacking the dagger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And both those shots line up short. They go boom, boom. Like in front of the
Great.
ship. Molly returns fire.
Oh no!
That's probably bad.
Unacceptable.
You probably want to. Let's see here. You do 6 points of damage.
Oh
So
no! Can I nullify the hit?
yeah, and accept a crisis instead.
Yeah, is that cool with y'all?
Cool.
Yeah,
You're nullifying the
fine.
hit, so you roll a d6 to see what kind of crisis it is.
Yeah.
Oh, good, good. It's on you how badly this
Cargo
goes.
damage.
Don't kill us. Don't kill
It's
one
just
of us.
cargo damage. That's fine. That's fine.
So what this means is that
Is it?
no, well, it's possible. Remember how your ship has like stuff in your hull, like one of it is like like the crew section, one of it's the your repair stuff, your supplies, how it was originally food and things, as well as your own one. You have 2 of those that are empty, so technically there's a chance here that if you don't that if you just let it go, that there's a chance that there's a 10% chance that whatever it hit was ruined. But I'm gonna roll a d6 to determine which zone was hit. And just for the record, let's go. I think it's listed under your ship right now. Black Storm. Not listed. Okay. I'm a dummy. Let me just look at my notes real quick. You have. Oh, what do you have in your ship? You had supplies.
Is it in Daquan?
I feel like that's
Was it
all we
under
had
Daquan's
was
thing?
supplies.
because we sold stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you were using create food and water for food.
Yeah, but
so
I
then
think we
you
still
just
had some other supplies though.
You have your own places to sleep, right? You have your own quarters, and then you also have the black the bull shark's quarters. So
Wait a minute.
I think there's 3 things then to hit, right? So on a D, so let's do this. So we're doing a crisis instead, and you roll and yeah, okay. I'm going to roll to see what it was hit. If it's a 4, 5, or 6, it just hits empty space. It does. Cool. So it just rips a hole in your ship, and then there's a.
That's
If it's
literally
not
the-
fixed next turn, it's empty, right? It's like where you would have kept your food. But it's currently empty, which means if it wasn't fixed next turn, there's a 10% chance that the cargo's lost.
That's literally the best outcome we could have had.
Yeah, it actually is.
That's the best outcome that we
Literally
could have
nothing
had.
happened.
Oh my god.
But you can't obviously until you fix that. You can't store anything in your ship in that level.
Yeah,
That's
that's fine.
So there's a big hole in your ship. There's a big hole. Let's say like near the front of your ship.
Holy shit. I
But
don't
yeah, no
like
damage.
being captain.
It's stressful, isn't it?
It's the worst.
Yeah.
Why did Josh do this to me?
Yeah. All right,
Yeah, it's definitely all his fault.
back to you. What do you do?
I don't know what to do. I mean,
Well, we need to get rid of it, so we should maybe attack because we don't really need to repair that.
is the dire eel, is it running?
It would if it could, but they're all scrambling to try to fix their ship and try to. Yeah.
Are they seen as a threat at this moment?
They're not. No, they're not. They're not a threat. No.
Okay.
Can we just? I mean, well,
I
I
don't
guess
think
we gotta.
Yeah, I don't think we need to. I was asking, do we need to focus on them? But if they're not a threat at the moment, then we need to focus on the other one. I think.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Definitely.
Can your dolphins do anything? Do they attack?
Yeah.
Can we just make the
The
dolphins?
dolphins
can
are
go attack and
protectors
sink the
of the
diary.
glittering wreath.
But yeah, they probably.
So, as long as you know, as far as dolphins are concerned, I don't know what they would do to people on a boat, but
They
could
just
attack
use
the
their
boat.
little
And,
bottle
like,
noses to
yeah.
just hit the boat.
Like they could like try to bump and bite the bottom hull of.
here's
the
here's the thing: if I do anything other than the duty, you will be firing once a turn rather than twice a turn.
Oh, your dolphins
So-
do use CP too?
No,
that's
they
his
don't use
action.
CP. But if I'm not doing my duty, then you won't get enough CP to do whatever it is the ship done twice. So.
Unless I want to go crazy and go above and beyond and try to get us some CP that way.
Yeah, but the DC's a 20.
Yeah, but it could be something
you
like
know.
like raging, and if you
Do
rage and
something.
use athletics or something, you're rolling an advantage, and all that kind of stuff.
I don't think I get advantage when I'm raging on athletics checks.
On strength
However,
checks,
if you did manage to get more CP than 3, I would recommend potentially firing 2 guns and repairing what you can at this point. Because remember, you're like, we're 6 points off from having a morale check. And what the Dolphins can do outside of that is help with morale problems. So, I mean,
No.
you know.
Okay.
The first mate has a thing where it doesn't use any CP and can make something use 2 fewer command points.
Yes, but if he doesn't do his duty, then it's
Yeah.
almost exactly the same. So unless, for example, it's like you want to have the first mate do the support department, and then have everyone else do the do your duty, you'll still only have like 2 minus 1, so you still be at 3, right? So
Well, it's
it's the
it's
same
2
amount,
minus
yeah.
2.
If
oh, it's 2 fewer, right? Okay,
Hmm.
yeah, you're right.
So if Finny, if the captain did their duty and then I did the support department, you did your dolphins, we could repair the ship as well.
Mm. Well, I thought the problem was that
Well, because I'm the bosun, you won't be able to do that.
yeah, because he's the bosun,
yeah.
he's the one that would do the repairs and also the one that would order the dolphins, so we can't do that.
Yeah, that's
We could do evasive maneuvers.
Well, the
Or
other thing
even-
that you could do is you could have you could use the support department to basically fire the guns for free. Oh no, because the first mate does that as well. So yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, honestly, it might just be worthwhile either repairing this round or shooting 2 guns, whichever you prefer to have happen.
the Molly hasn't been hit yet.
Yeah. So actually getting hit on would go a long way.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Eric will allow it, but why don't you throw some spells at them too? So
You absolutely could do that. Rather than doing one of those actions, you could totally cast spells. Right?
yeah.
Once again, it's like, this is just like a rough framework to like give you things that you could.
Well,
do
you would
on
have to
your turn.
get
Yeah.
considerably closer to the Molly's dagger before you can do that. But
You're 100
if you
feet
did
away.
do that,
You're 150 feet away. So like any spell that's within 150 feet, you could conceivably do it. It's just that means casting that spell is your action. That's
Yeah.
what you would do as the navigator, as a captain, that kind of thing.
all right. Well, if that's the case, I'll just drop some lightning on it and be done with it. Yeah.
You call lightning? Is that a thing?
Call lightning. Yeah. 120 feet, 3d10 worth of damage. It's a cone that sits there.
You're
60-foot
currently out
radius.
of range of it. Then you would have to get
I
the
could
ship.
You
get
said
us
we're
Yeah.
yeah. So I think that might be an option to do that as well.
I'm cool with
So-
that because if we're in 120 feet, I can cast guiding bolt at it.
Drive me closer. I wish to hit it with my sword.
Okay, cool. So
Oh.
then, yeah. So the Black Storm cuts hard to, I guess, the starboard at this time, and like begins to sail closer to the Molly's dagger.
I think, is it cool with you,
You're within
Dave?
range.
Like, you want to stay like as far within range, but as far within range as we can.
I mean, if you'd like, I can also leave the ship and traverse the water my own way
Yeah.
to get to that place. So, but the thing is, I'll be down. I won't be able to repair the ship. You won't be able to repair anything. You know.
Oh
so-
no, I want you on the ship. I was saying just wanted to get as close. You want to get right in within range. We don't want to get too close, is what I was saying.
Well, 120 is my range, so
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
what
need
mine
to
is
move
too.
like 3 or whatever. So
Yeah.
So I moved the ship right now. Currently, so you're in range to cast spells while on the ship.
Okay.
Oh, great, perfect. That's
Perfect.
I guess I'll throw some lightning at them, Eric Valgaris.
Okay. Are you trying to hit the lightning just to to attack the ship? Or are you trying to hurt the crew or what?
I mean, so here's the thing. I'm a protector and guardian of the Glittering Reef, and these are the bad boys that have been giving me the grief at some point.
the grief
so-
of the reef. Yep.
The grief at the reef. So, you know, what happens will happen, and I don't care much for vehicles or any of that stuff, so, you know, let the lightning fall where it will. If it, you know, murderizes a few people, great. If it blows up the ship, even better. So let's see here. Stormcloud appears in the shape of a cylinder that is 10 feet tall with a 60-foot radius centered on a point you can see 100 feet directly above you. Okay. What? 100. That is 10 feet tall with a 60-foot radius centered on a point you can see 100 feet directly above you. The spell fails if you can't see the point in the air. Okay, I see. So you can't do it in a cave. Yep, that makes sense. When you cast a spell, choose a point you can see within range. A bolt of lightning flashes down from the cloud to that point. Each creature within 5 feet of that point must make a dexterity saving throw. If I'm trying to hit the boat, Eric, is there a dexterity saving throw for a boat or not really?
No. There's not. But there is something that you could do instead. They can make
Interesting.
they have a roll. They can just quickly make. I'll just call it something like.
Well, I mean, like normally when you're attacking an object in D&D that has a hardness to it that you need to do over in order to do damage, but if that's how you want to do it, that's cool too. Hang on a successful. Oh, okay. So
What happens
if they
you-
succeed at this Dex check, Eric, which is DC 14, it only does half damage rather than full damage. So they still get hurt either way.
Okay.
If the conditions are out stormy when you cast a spell, you have a chance. Blah blah blah. Okay.
It's not stormy.
So if it's stormy outside, it's an extra D10. All right. I don't think it is though. Okay.
Nah,
So-
it's moderate. It's just a nice fair day. Fair skies.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously not anymore. Storm clouds overhead for them.
All right, so water whips around my feet as I stormify the air above the Molly's dagger, bringing my righteous fury upon them,
Oh yeah.
and I cast Core Lightning.
Cool.
What level is this? That'd be a level 3 spell.
Yeah, it's
Thank you
probably a
very
level
much.
3 spell.
Wow, that's pretty. That's not so bad. That's
What? I'm just gonna,
kind of above average for a 3d10. Yeah.
I'll roll with their defense. They get a 16. So they take half damage,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, half damage. Yes. So
Okay.
rounded, I don't know, up or down. I forget which one it is. So that is what, 7, 8. 7.
Yeah. So that
7 damage.
the way I'm doing it is that their crew then takes a hit.
Yeah, I think it's also 5. Every creature within 5 foot of that point as well takes damage. So if you just
That's
want to
true. It
give
should do
them,
2
like, if
points of
they have
damage.
a
No, it totally should do 2 points of damage to them. Right, because it should do double damage because it's like hitting everybody, like it's an area of effect kind of thing.
yeah,
Because of like splash
each creature
stuff.
within 5 foot of that point
Yeah.
must make a dexterity saving throw.
Right, so
yeah.
it's going to hit the whole thing. So what I'm going to say is that rather than doing 1 point of damage to them, it does 2. And because it does 2, the size of the crew is a D4, which means they're at half health, which means they make a morale save. And their morale bonus is +3. 15. They fail. They are broken by the lightning. They don't think... the crew now is like... Well, the ship is fine. The crew are like, out of this.
So I will say over the whipping winds. Actually, they probably will be able to hear me that far away, most likely.
And with the storm clouds over them, probably not.
And also the fact that they just had a lightning bolt
Crash, yeah.
inside their earlobes, most likely. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. I was gonna say, abandon your ship if you wish to survive my fury, but it's fine. That
Yeah.
works too.
No, instead, rather than that, yeah, they're. I mean, you probably still say it, just they don't hear you, right?
Mm.
It's up to you. But yeah, so the
I
diarrhea is
still
basically
say it.
just stuck in a drift. Molly's dagger is basically being like out, just like trying to get out of the
Peace out.
storm and just leaving. Like this isn't worth it. Yeah. So, do you think are we going to attack the dire eel and finish them off, or are you going to leave them be? Are you going to try to like sail away and kind of like get a sense of what's happening, repair, and then follow the quest for the Triton? Like, what's the plan?
Well, we promised our
Yeah, I think
our
we're
crew.
we're gonna board the dire eel.
Yeah, I think Finney looks at the crew and goes, "You wanted a pillage? There you go."
Yeah, and there's the broken dire eel, and so then we're gonna go to a quick little 5-minute break. Then when we come back, we're going to board the dire eel. All right, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you all on the other side of the break.
because
Hey everybody, we're back. We're just waiting for Helene to return here real quick. We just figured we'd just hang out while we waited. Yeah, that was version 0.000000001 of my rules for able
Did you
mass
add a
combat.
zero? I think you added a
I
zero.
probably did add another zero. I'm still figuring out how.
Every
how to
time he gets
combine.
another 0.
Yeah, sounds about right. I wish I could do that with my bank account.
yeah.
So it
Yeah.
goes the other way.
Mm.
Yeah.
Also say hi to my cat.
Hey cat.
Come here.
Can you
Come on screen so everybody can see you, cat.
almost. That is just said they're just in front of the mic. I'm like, hey.
No, yeah, she's just purring into the mic. She likes the texture of the microphone, so she likes to rub against it and purr like right into it.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
If I want to finally multi-class or get that
You get which
drive
one?
me crazy. 1 4th level spell.
Mmm.
There are some powerful cleric spells that are 4th level.
They really are.
I apologize. My wife just came home, so
No problem.
I could hear you all though. So
Okay. All right, we're back. Yeah. So we're going to just cut to basically the Black Storm is gearing up to raid the Diarial, right?
Yep.
Cool. So there's a couple things here. We could have the Dolphins come into play, but also we could have the Marines come into play. I want the Black Storm has a special ability here that I gave you, and it's because you are kind of like a quote-unquote barbarian encampment. I gave you a thing called Boarding Cry, which means when you prepare to board, you can designate a combat unit vis-a-vis the bull sharks, and they clang their swords and pikes and beckon a mighty yawp, and they may act as though they are first attack. They have advantage when they board.
Yeah. Bashko will lead this mighty yup.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense here. I think so. Rather than having individual we're gonna follow like the same sort of like naval thing. Like I don't think that's here. I think what this is gonna look like is that rather than set up a whole map, this will be just kind of like an abstract fight. But yeah, like you are leading the charge here, Bob, right? Does Bajko I'm not saying this requires a roll or anything, just fictionally, right? Like, does Bajko like do like the sort of like you like pre-jump before like you like crash down the boarding plank stuff, you know? And
Oh
just,
yeah,
like, go to
yeah.
people's
He's
faces?
totally like leaps across between the two ships before the boarding plank lands and the rest of the Marines come on. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So like they're all kind of like getting ready because they saw you come in, and yeah. So the same thing, but there's this big, huge, intimidating half orc that just jumps in, creates space, and then like the boarding planks come down. So go ahead and and sort of like rather than you attack them, Bajko, like you're kind of like leading the. So
Oh no.
Can you attack for the bull sharks for me?
Yes. Yes,
they-
I can.
They're attacking as Marine, so they attack with a +2.
With a +2.
Yeah, because they're still considered green until at least till the end of this fight. Because now they've actually had a
Okay.
taste and they'll become regular troops.
There's
Oh, yeah.
21 for them.
They clash, which means they do. That means you need to make a power roll. I made a little mass combat note tab here, and so basically, when you attack, you make an attack bonus, and then you roll to see if you do damage and how much damage you do. That's sort of what power does. Power is you just do it against their toughness. If it works, then you decrease their casualty, rather than rolling to see how much damage. If you did enough damage to casualty. So
What's our unit's power?
1.
1.
Because everyone here just has sort of like light spears and like swords. Like there's nothing like super special
Sure.
about them. If you gave them, you can spend money to upgrade them and stuff like that. Like when you go to ports and stuff to give them better items. But for the time being, they're just basically fresh troops with just light stuff, right?
That's fine.
So that's why it's +1. Oh yeah, that crushes the defense of the group. So their die goes down by 1. So they have 3 wounds left. And remember, when they're at half, there's a chance they can really do more.
Cool.
So they take a hit. Next up here is it's them, right? It's them kind of returning vol. And the rest of the party and everybody can do, okay? And kind of just describe for me what you're doing. Cool. So the first one up here is they're going to try to return, attacking your. They attack because these, while they're smaller in number, these people are not. They're seasoned. They're not. They attack with +3. They're attacking their marine. They roll a natural 1. They are completely crushed. Awesome. I want to know.
Oh
what
yeah,
this
because
looks
if
like,
they.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, if they roll a 1, does that like, do they
No.
hurt themselves?
No, there's no critical failures or fumbles in sort of like mass combat, but they're definitely
that's good.
they definitely don't like even like get close to attacking. And I think it's something that one of you all in the party do. And I want to know who is it? Is it you, Bajko? Like it could totally be Bajko. It could totally be Korik. You know, it could be Finny. It could be anybody, right? But like something happens where like rather than like really fighting, like you create more space and they don't even like get a chance to even act. Kind of what I'm thinking, right? You imagine this is the ship with a broken mast. Everything else is kind of in tatters too, and you can see like they've already been kind of like a couple of them have already died on deck from Bajko's initial assault. Does anyone having a cool idea what that kind of looks like? Like what?
I do, but it's for Henley's character.
Oh, wrong one. What do you mean? What's my character doing now?
Oh, I just like the idea of you and your dolphins like coming at the ship and then you leaping out of the water from the pod of dolphins onto the ship and then being like, the fuck was that?
I also like the idea that potentially during the course of melee, you kick a few of them off and the dolphins just like bat them around like playthings in the water. And the other thing is too, like potentially they're leaping over the ship and like just like, you know, spearing a couple of them off the boat and stuff like that. So yeah.
I used to be able to do a dolphin thing, not anymore in my old age. I'm not gonna try.
Jesus Christ. How old are you supposed to be now, Eric? 59? 60,
59.
12? 59.
1,000.
Wow.
Cool. So yeah, so like if we wanted to, like we could fictionally kind of describe for your turns for anyone who's not like doing the mass combat thing. There's obviously we can kind of like you can either help and assist the sort of like group attacking the rest of sort of massive troops here. You could probably also like try to go after the captain. Like that's probably an ability, a person you can attack, and like I have a stat block for captain that we could use.
Is it a captain I know? Eric
No.
Burgers?
No, this
Okay,
person's
then.
just a trash can. He's not Captain Trash, but definitely. And let's-
That's Mr.
roll
Trash to you.
roll randomly.
Captain
It's
Trash is
Captain
my father.
Can.
Cool. So they are email.
There we go.
Old school. Thank you for subscribing, friend. 3 months in a row now for the Greyhawk channel. Let's do. Okay, so they're kind of cool. Yeah. Cool. So they're Captain Jade. So yeah, you can attack Captain Jade if you want, or you can try to like help the troops and try to like demoralize the troops that you're attacking. But like really, like once again, like your ships are maybe 10 feet apart at this point. As you pulled up, you have gangplank things going over here. Half of the forces of the Marines are still kind of pulling over. Bajko is kind of leading the charge here, creating space, attacking everybody. All this stuff is happening, and now you two are also like, or the three of you are kind of like still on the Black Storm. You can come across the ship, no problem. This is all very like abstract. You just kind of tell me what you want to do. You can either go after the captain and rush up to them, right, or like get into the fray and attack the rest of the soldiers. You know, all that kind of stuff is totally up on the tables here. I want you all to be kind of creative. There's not like a lot of constriction to like rules stuff like we just saw.
I think Finny is going straight to like whatever kind of captain's quarters are. She wants to look for information on the Scarlet Brotherhood. She's bypassing the fighting. Just sliding right past.
I think I want to go straight for the captain. I want to 1v1 the captain.
Okay. Totally. Yeah. Okay, so Cork, you call out the captain. Like the captain's probably on the not the name of the front and back of a ship.
The
Bow and stern.
The bow and stern.
Bow's the front,
Yeah,
stern's the back. So yeah, so you're on the stern. Yeah, so like they're on the stern of the ship. Like a green pommeled sword, is like it's kind of like you can tell the captain with the big hat and the green. He's kind of beckoning people to be like fight to the last man kind of thing, right? Yeah. So you're gonna challenge her.
Yeah.
Cool. What does that look like? Like what does it look like when Korg beckons like a challenge?
Yeah. So he's going to run up to the stern, and he's gonna push some of the other her underlings to
exactly,
the side. He's
right?
gonna
They're
push
just
them out the way.
Yeah, just throw them aside. Yeah. There's a little half staircase up to the part of where the helm is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's gonna push some of her underlings to the side, and he's gonna say, "You and me right now." And he's gonna pull out his sword.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, it's probably, let's just say it took your movement and stuff to get to her and stuff, right? Like, and throwing people out of the way. That's probably pretty fair. What's everyone else doing? Everyone else hasn't had a chance to act until. Once again, this is abstract. We don't have to do initiative so much.
Sure. Well, I guess for that point, then I would. I would actually, Eric. I'm going to get a bunch of. Let me just double check if I can do this first, because it sounds good in my head. I just want to make sure if I can actually do it or not. What does this do?
Well, can you tell the class what you're thinking?
So, as a Triton, I have this sweet ability called Emissary of the Sea, which allows me to have a one-way conversation with sea creatures. So the idea here is that I would like an assortment of larger fish to basically jump on board of the ship, and maybe even slap around some of the crew members that are there in an attempt to demoralize them more. Like even the ocean is raging against them and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, like I think of flying fish. They just kind of inadvertently, or there's some kind of ship that loves to just jump onto boats, and they're just very, very not smart. Like this isn't a smart attack. It's just making things slippery and just getting hit.
And there's one guy with a swordfish hanging out of his arm or something like that. You know.
You know what? Let's make this a knowledge nature check, right? To see do you think knowledge nature, or do you think survival? Do you think something like?
I think it's.
Just make a spellcasting check, to represent this is your ability that you're using, and to create this effect. This isn't really a spell per se that you have to mark off or anything. This is just your rising the sea creature. Just call it that. So
okay.
Make a
so what's that?
Is it proficiency plus wisdom?
Yeah.
Yeah, just call that's the name of the check, just to see how effective it is. Yeah, okay, so cool. So it's super effective. What I would say is that then when the enemy marines, enemy reavers will go, they have disadvantage on their attacks, so they're getting hit by floppy fish and stuff. Right? That's kind of what you wanted, right?
Yeah, something like that, you know.
So then paint us a picture. So what does that look like when you use this ability?
Well, like I mentioned before,
what is it? Or is it just the staff then?
And then all these fish just come back.
All these salmon just flop on the decks and
you
people
just
flop around.
You just like you're like here, fishy, 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 fishy.
Yeah. So Henley, tell us what does it look like? What does Moles do
well,
when you're in this area of the sea?
Well, specifically speaking, it's a one-way communication. So I implore the denizens of the ocean to rise up and revolt against the those who dare use its bountiful oceans against for I guess for crimes of against humanity, right? So
Yeah.
it's more like the how I mentioned before when I cast the spell, like the water whips around me and the cape blows and the eyes sort of go translucent and smoky and
Oh yeah.
you know yeah.
Yeah, and there's a huge
basically
burst of
Aquaman.
water.
Yeah,
Yeah,
essentially.
Aquaman and all these fish are attacking for sure. Yeah. I mean, you're a druid of the water. Of course, we're gonna draw from Aquaman for like things. It's like the only
It's kind of
touchstone
funny
anybody
because
ever has about this.
Yeah, the Tritons are basically just like, yo, what if Aquaman, hold up, was blue? And that's basically the character. So
It's great. I'm loving it. Awesome. Yeah. So they're gonna have disadvantage. So then, did you want to do anything? You're just gonna hang back.
Yeah, she's going straight to the captain's quarters to find information on the Scarlet Brotherhood.
Oh, so like you're gonna like try to ignore the fighting and like.
Yeah, she's
start sweeping
completely
around?
dipping through this fight. Yeah, she has
Okay.
no interest in this fight.
Okay. Cool. So then, your action would be kind of just moving into the fray there for that point. Okay, so it comes back around. Everyone can act again. Obviously, everyone's still going to be kind of fighting here. Boshko, is there anything you wanted to do?
I just think wreck face.
Sure.
Um,
Just in the thick of it, attacking the rest of the soldiers and stuff.
yeah.
Sure.
Swing my warhammer around and being large.
Yeah, totally. You can totally. I think at this point you can totally attack and then also control the troops too. Like you can do both.
Sweet.
I think that'd be more fun.
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna make a huge swing. Of course, I'm raging. Like I was raging when I jumped on this ship.
They have AC 13.
That's fine. So I'm gonna get.
You raged as soon
3
as you jumped
attacks.
over. Like that was what you yawped, right? Of course you raged.
I did.
Yeah.
Did. Yo! All right. I'm gonna swing my hammer. I get 3 attacks. So let's go.
Oh yeah, do it.
wait, what class are you again?
The
I'm
barbarian.
a barbarian.
Barbarian, 3 attacks. Yeah, sweet.
Uh-huh.
And with
That's
5th level, that
it.
makes that.
So
excited.
that's a hit.
Oh yeah. Okay. You just hit people and they just
That's
start.
a hit.
It's very much like when Sauron.
That's it.
It's very much with like Sauron.
Oh.
Maze. We like do we
I
see
add
you, or do
2
we just
damage
see
to each
people
of those.
fly? Like the question I
Yeah,
have
like
for you.
the camera is we see this crowd of people and then someone goes flying and then someone goes flying and then someone goes flying and
Okay.
Bojko, raises his warhammer and then the rest of the crew attacks behind him.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and we just see you with this soaking warhammer.
Oh, crew only got a 10.
Okay. Nope.
The
so
rest of the crew is like struggling and they can't actually get a clean hit in as these
Yeah.
other guys go flying from
yeah,
Bojko's.
they're also in awe of you.
I forgot to click on the button to add my rage damage, so actually all of those were 2 more additional damage on top of that,
Okay.
which is already more than enough, so don't worry about
No,
it.
that's definitely
still.
more than enough. You definitely wounded.
Just to remind you, GM, I get 2 extra damage.
Cool. And so then I think we're gonna go to the captain. We're gonna cut back over to the captain and work. You can go first, as the captain's getting ready to charge you. Like you were calling them out. I'll give you that.
Okay.
You do.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so they're gonna come down at the stairs and be like, "Get off my ship!"
I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to kind of roar and swing with my greatsword.
Yeah. Okay. That's a hit.
Yeah. There's the damage on that, and then I get another hit.
Same roll. Another 24.
Hell yeah.
Or another 10. Okay. Same.
What
roll.
is up with you
wait,
and the
one more.
same rolls
One more.
today?
You are
Hold on.
consistent.
Wait. We're not done. I'm going to add a Searing Smite onto that.
Man of consistency.
Okay.
so they get 1 damage. I
Okay,
guess.
so 21 points of damage.
Quark.
Oh, yeah. You hurt them up. You hurt them up real bad. They couldn't survive another 2. That's a hit. But they're probably gonna fight to the death. Okay, so let's the camera cuts then over to Finn. So Finn, you have you got okay, so you get to the door, and like you like go below deck and stuff. But yeah, the captain's quarter is locked, right? Like it's always gonna be locked from people. Like you're not allowed in the captain's quarters. So like, what do you do when you get to the locked door? Like, is this like do you just break it open?
Is there a window on the door?
No, there's no windows in the bottom of the ship. This ship is kind of designed similar to your ship. There's no window like captain's quarter, which is kind of like where your like the PC crew quarters is.
Yeah.
It's underneath where the captain's fighting up ahead. In fact, you can hear the smite from Korik happening above you, right? Like you can.
Sure. Let's try to.
In fact, like there's a part where like the greatsword like hit the ground. You can like see like this like you see a sear line like happen above like like right above you or the door, right? Like there's fighting right there.
Yeah, sure. Let's try to break this door open with my 9 strength. Actually, can I take my?
You can use inspiration.
Can I take my mace and try to hit the doorknob?
Absolutely.
Try to
just attack
breaking
it down.
it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is that'd be just a straight attack roll with my mace, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna use my inspiration on it.
Mhm.
I'm weak. A 19. I
Yeah.
needed the inspiration.
You did need the inspiration to break the door open. Okay. Don't worry so much about the damage. You hit it enough that you can like get your hand through the door to unlock it, right? Like you don't have to you're not bashing the entire door down. They're not.
No, I
not
just want like the doorknob open,
it's
maybe.
a locked door. It's not like a bar door, so like you just have to hit the thing to get through it. Not like the stuff we saw in the Thieves Guilds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's done. Yeah. Okay. So you're able to get the door open here. You swing it open, and yeah, there's plenty of journals and books around.
What I'm looking for specifically, because this might help you, is like
Yeah, sure.
ledgers of like sales they're doing, any information on high-ranking people in the Scarlet Brotherhood, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. That's going to require kind of like an investigation check why this is happening above you, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because it's not a matter of not finding it; it's a matter of like the time it takes.
Yeah, of
And
course.
So, like, if this investigation is a lower investigation, okay, no, you find it. Yeah. So you're quick on the draw here. You like move a couple things around, and then you kind of find like a good like solid like leather bound thing that you flip open, and by providence, by fate, it's the book that you need.
Yeah, she's not gonna spend time reading it.
No.
If she sees that it's probably what she thinks it is,
you
she'll
open
tuck it
you flip
away.
over. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, right. For sure.
She'll tuck it away, and then she's gonna run back up on board. She's still gonna avoid the fighting as much as possible. She does not want to get involved.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all that she wanted to do.
Okay. So then the camera cuts back upstairs, and it's the enemy Reavers, the Scarlet Brotherhood sailors. They're attacking. They have disadvantage from the fish. So they have to roll 2 and take the less. And I messed that up. I do. I meant to pay keep lowest, not drop high. Nope, that's not working.
I think it's exclamation point 1. I don't actually remember which one it is. They actually, you know what? Roll 20 changed so much since when I was last GMing that I don't know anything anymore. So.
Just roll twice and just look at them that way. As I have to look at the roll for it. Well, I rolled a 15 for both of them.
Sweet.
Okay. So they do. They will hit. So what this is gonna look like here is I think they're gonna go after you, Boshko, right? Only because like you're the one who like hit a bunch of them, right? So I think it makes sense.
I'm here to soak damage.
Yeah. I think that makes sense here. And so like you're gonna get attacked by a group of them. I think it's probably fair to say that like with about the 10 people attacking you here, let's just say it's that's like 7. Let's just say it's like about let's say a nice like cool 15 points of damage.
Is that before or after I
That's
reduce the
before
damage?
resistance. That's before.
Sweet. Okay, I'll go ahead and take 8 damage then.
right? Because like these people, like keep in mind, like now that you guys are like level 5, these people are kind of like an individual sailor is nothing to you, right? But like it's just like a kind of like a swarm, right?
No, sure.
Against an individual person. So let's just say it's like, yeah, right?
He ignores it completely.
Yeah,
True barbarian
you
fashion.
You get cut a little bit fighting it. Yeah, there's this big, huge like Errol Flynn like fight with all these people, and like there's a point where there's like a bunch of like you're parrying all of the blow kind of things, right? There's like 4 swords on like your warhammer, and then there's like that lift up part and like kind of thing. It's just like you're just dealing with a bunch of people right now. Cool. So then it goes back to captain, right? Now the captain's going to like wipe the blood off her face, like in her lip. At you. She's going to draw her dagger in her other. A cork. Twice with the scimitar, and then 1 dagger. Looks like they are all misses, but the dagger, you weren't expecting the dagger. So you're going to take 6 points of damage.
Okay. When she misses, I'm going to riposte. So I just get an attack, and then I get to add a d6 to my to my damage.
It's a really good ability.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So she takes 15 damage.
They're barely alive. In fact, and then I think the troops need to make a morale check. Oh, and she's also gonna. Okay, well, fighting. Jade Captain's basically like, okay, she knows when she's beat. Is gonna ask for any like after like you hit her again and she's like got her side. It's like any chance of I'm getting out of this alive?
No.
Nah.
She spits and like, so be it. She understands.
I'm kind of glad
knows the
Finney
deal.
wasn't there to see that interaction.
Yeah.
I'm really I was just about to ask Finny see it because
You
I
hear
want
it.
to question
You
her
hear it.
so bad.
No, Finny, you definitely hear it because it's above you,
Oh
right?
no. Hmm.
I think it's important. I think it's more interesting if you did.
I hate it. Thanks.
But there's nothing you can do about it. It's not like you can say like, "Hey, don't knock it off," like when you're underneath the ship.
Knock it off.
Yeah, you know, like that's not.
Look,
I'm on the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Got a broom. Stop it up there.
Literally, like, Korik has like 2 things that make him want to kill her, which is his new flaw, which is kill them all, and his vow, his oath, which says no mercy for his sworn enemies. So
Yeah. I don't think you're doing anything
Get
wrong. I just
so
think this is
much
going to be a really interesting like roleplay moment as like this happens, right? That's all. It's good. Yeah. So then I think it's probably say we can like the fight kind of like wraps up as you all kind of just like overtake the ship, right? It's just gonna go for another like maybe 2 rounds or so, and just in the interest of time, right? Unless we're cool and we want to play it out. If there's other cool shit we wanted to do, I don't want to rob you of cool shit, but also I'm just thinking. What do you all say?
I'm fine.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
totally
you
into
could
what you
always
want to do.
you could always kill the captain in front of the crew, and that would wrap things up nice and simple. Like,
Yeah. Right, that's an easy way of ending it, right? When you say no, it's like, yeah, do you execute the captain?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Korik's not one to like wait. I mean, he likes to put on a show, but I think right now he just lost like a friend. His friend is gone, Daquan, and he's angry. So yeah, he's going to kill her, like just right there.
Oh yeah, so the captain's dead. Yep, absolutely.
Bashko swings by mid-battle for a quick high five and then goes back to just warhammering people off the ship.
Cork
Uh,
follows Bashko into the crowd.
So the rest of the sailors and stuff are gonna they give up, but they kind of know that like unless you're going to hire people to replace the ones you killed, they're probably dead. Too. Right? Like
Mhm.
that's kind of just like that's the deal. You know, like that's kind of like that's usually how things go. But it's
Mhm.
totally up to you if you show mercy. Like all these things are completely subjective and up to how you want to do. I'm interested in kind of like you all now, kind of like taking control, and seeing what you guys like. What would a Triton say about like what are the rules of battle, and how does that affect like what if this happens?
Well, so I know what I would say in a lot of cases. So, it seems that your friends have fought valiantly. I would suggest letting them remain on the ship and take what you want. Perhaps they can repair it and learn from their ways.
Finny is looking around like all this mess, and
By the way, I'm picking up like fish around me and throwing them back in the water.
Yeah, of course. I included you had a handful of fish this whole time as you were doing that.
Oh god, oh comedic timing on that. I feel like Boschko just keeps going until Finny literally tells him to stop, but instead he slips on a fish and like falls on his back.
Oh! She looks around and she's like, I don't know if they'll learn their lesson or not. I feel like once you're a slaver, you're probably always one.
I say the Scarlet Brotherhood deserves no mercy. Not from me.
She looks at the Marines, the crew. Let's return to our ship. We have a new companion we promised help to.
What they look like, but the plunder.
Get what you'd like, make it quick, and then burn the ship.
Oh yeah.
And I think Finny goes back to her ship.
How far away from land is this? By the way, this combat.
You're about maybe like a mile or so offshore. Like you caught them. They intercepted you like kind of like outside of the cove. Not too far.
So you don't command anyone to murder the rest of them, yes?
I don't. No.
She doesn't command us to murder the rest of them, just to burn the ship. So
I also don't command you to not murder them.
So I say to the remaining people, if you want to live and not die on a burning wreckage, I suggest you jump into the water. I will make sure that you return to land.
What guarantee of safety is that? That sounds a lot like what pirates would say. They don't.
Boschko slowly comes up, just like bonk the warhammer in one hand.
All right, and then comedically look at each other. You know what? We're gonna take the water.
Yeah.
Water sounds real good right now. Yeah, I could go for a swim.
I'll instruct the dolphins to pull the remaining leftover crew, push them to land.
Yeah. Okay. I think you inadvertent. Okay. Here's the thing. I'm interested if you would allow, or if the dolphins are smart enough, based on what you say. Would they just deliver the slavers to the rampaging red caps at the fort, or would they actually drop them off away?
No, I literally said like they will take you to land.
Okay,
Right.
So
see, I've never been in that cave, so I wouldn't know either way. So
okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, your dolphins are smart enough to know that like they can read your messages, and you know that you're a good person. It doesn't mean throw some people to like to where a bunch of bloodthirsty people. So you would drop them off somewhere else. Okay.
Sure.
So there's a couple things here. So this ship captured stuff. Cool. So they were. Oh, they were transporting drugs.
I love the
Well-
idea that these guys are overlooking their spoils, and I walk up to I don't know, one of the who would remain on the ship to help with the spoiling
Well, I
or the
mean,
collection of spoils.
the bull sharks are the Marines, right? They're the ones that kind of like going through the ship, being like, "Ooh, that's mine, that's mine." I love
I'm
commission-based
definitely
pay.
picking up some stuff.
All right.
Oh,
what was
I
your
wanna-
character's name, Kelsa?
Boschko.
Boschko. So I would walk up to you and I would put my hand on your shoulder and I would say, "It is very admirable that you're retrieving the items stolen from people and returning it to them."
I've like
You,
I've like found like someone's chocolate stash or something, some like small luxury food item, and I'm like have it in my it's like in my mouth as I turn around to look at you when you say that.
I'm still smiling, looking at you with like appreciative eyes. I guess I'm not sure. Like there's some sort of like I like to me it looks like you're just you're retrieving these nondescript bags of whatever to return them to the poor people they were taken from.
Oh, is that what Finny wants?
I can see it as what you want as well.
yeah. So there is there's a kind of an exotic fruit. I'm not sure what it is yet, and if someone has a cool idea for a name or something, let me know. But it's basically if you kind of like boil it and process it and stuff, you can create something that would be probably similar to opium, and that's kind of like what it is. But it's also like just really delicious to eat, and that's kind of what they were doing. So like it's basically just the raw material for drugs. I mean, they taste really good, like whatever these fruits are. Yeah. So that's kind of the thing. That's what they were carrying. The diarrheal.
Cool.
There's some other things on the ship too. It's not just like you just the buckets and buckets and buckets of this fruit, right? In addition, you like in things that might be interesting. Well, the most actionable item would be there is a potion of healing amongst some of the crew and stuff like that you could have. There's just there's like a glass locket. There's some gallons of like nice ale. But like just things that if you wanted you could just grab. But in terms of like monetary value or so about everything, the thing that's most like that's worth about 1,000 gold, plus or minus whatever you find a market for it, would be the fruit. That's like clearly the most important thing. Everything else is kind of like we're kind of you guys are like we're rich enough as characters that like the idea of like you need 25 gold worth of a locket isn't really like a problem. Right? Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, I guess like a lot of those nondescript things would be like payment for the crew and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. That's actually really that's fair to say. There is probably there's 600 gold for crew payments. Their treasury. That you could totally take that. That's probably the other thing. But yeah, other than that, there's just like there's nice a nice group of a selection of ale, right? That the captain and the crew enjoyed. There's some gallons of that. And there's a couple.
How big is
things.
this ship, Eric? Like
It's about the size of
realistically.
yours. It's a caravel. So
How big is our ship?
It's about maybe like 60 feet. I think.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit bigger. Maybe it's more like 100. So maybe like 30.
So why don't you take that extra cannon with you?
You can't. There's no place to mount the cannon on your ship. The ship.
Okay, so it's not topside cannons. It's
no. It has a topside. The diarrheal has a topside cannon on the front of the ship. That's what its weapon.
Okay.
That it was using. Right. The problem is that like the cannon is valuable, but there's no way. Like if you want to dismount the cannon and like store it in your hull and try to find a place to sell it, that's totally possible. But you can't mount the cannon on your ship too. Basically, the Blackstorm is maxed out on weaponry. It can hold two things, and right now they're a
fair
cannon. Right, like one of
And
the
it'd
front
be
of
a
the ship,
lot of work to try to move a cannon from one ship to another. We don't
got,
have
like, a
the
whole
right
session of that.
tools for that.
Yeah. Yeah, like salvaging weapons and shit is really, really, really. Typically, what you would do is you would scrub a ship by like basically just hauling the ship with you to some kind of port and being like, give me, and break it up there.
Yep. All right.
Does that all make sense?
Mm.
No,
Yeah.
It
there's
does.
like but like going back to like other items, not to like leave you on a limb and being there, but like there's a nice like there's a cool whalebone flute. There's a velvet embroidered handkerchief with someone's initials written on it. There's a glass locket, and there's a carved bone figurine that looks to the shape of sharks. It's actually a set of sharks' teeth, right? Like the shark jaw, like kind of like that wide open thing with a bunch of teeth. It's one of those things. That this is you would know this, Henley. You would know that this is a symbol to the gods of that's the Hagwin. You would know
On
that.
the ship.
Yeah, you would know that this is a figurine that's of the god of for Sahagwin, the god of sharks.
Okay.
Their name is Sikola.
Yeah. Okay.
They're BFFs with Dagon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just I don't say much, but I sort of personally fumigate at noticing this.
So these people had affiliations with the people who fucked up your read.
Yeah.
Is kind of what I'm getting at.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. I read the notes, dog. It's cool.
But like, I wanna know. So like, obviously, like we're doing those looting things like that, but like, is anyone gonna like approach Korik about like killing the captain? Is anyone like Finny? Is there anything like about that? Like, you're captain of the ship. Like, are you cool with this? Is there like a moment where you're like, you don't bring it up? Like, do we see you like praying to Istis about it? Like, is there like, how does this affected you? 'Cause I imagine it did in some way. But if you say no, it's totally cool too.
She's not cool with it, but she doesn't know the proper moment to bring it up yet.
Okay. Sure. Well, like, let's say like because we're out of fighting, and we gotta spend some time moving things around here. I don't know. Bajko doesn't care. Yeah, Bajko's like, yeah, this is just how it's done.
Bashko high-fived me for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We bonded.
It's this thing called the male bonding procedure. You kill someone, you high five over it, you get points of love points with each other. It's fine. That's how it works.
I wanna loot the captain specifically. Like, I wanna take her sword.
Oh yeah, sure. It's just a jade sword.
Yeah.
It's that's all. It's not actually magic.
Her name was Jade, so she had to have a jade sword. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. So then we have some kind of downtime here. I think the bull sharks have earned a good rest. And they're happy, and they're going to promote themselves the next time they go to port from green to regular
Good
troops.
job.
Right? Because this is the first time you fought. They've tested it. Green means they haven't fought ever, right? They haven't been tested. Now they have.
We've never seen them fight before.
Yeah.
I figured they probably fought before, but not under our rule, and so it's different.
Yeah, and they never really fought like together. Yeah, in this. Right. They've been part of a bigger force. So like fighting just themselves, it tested their mettle.
I mean, Bajko's like a force all by himself, so it's fine.
You are a host. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, okay. So then I think some of the here's a scene that we probably see while they're resting and the crew are definitely going to eat some of those rare fruits. Did anyone have a name for them yet? Anyone want to come up with a name for the fruit?
I'm bad at naming. I think we discussed this earlier.
Maybe
My
it's
mistake.
specifically like
I had to name
Like-
islands last night on a Last for the Awful Sea. My creativity is tapped.
Mhm.
I'm
No.
done.
They're just called
Slink.
drug fruits.
Drug fruit!
So your crew's not in risk. When I say that they're eating it and stuff like that, then I want to be very clear that like they're not in risk of getting high or anything like that from eating. It's only after you like process them and stuff like that that stuff comes out. Like it's like an extract, right?
Mhm.
So like they're just eating the fruit because it's fucking delicious and they earned it. It's basically the Capri Sun and orange slices if it's soccer, a soccer game, right?
well, why don't you call it the Jubilee fruit or something like
Yeah,
that? I
Jubilee.
don't know.
Yeah. Okay, let's call them Jubilees. Yeah, they're Jubilees. That's awesome. Thanks, Emily. Perfect.
That's a
Yeah.
good
Because
name.
you know, happy and whatnot. I don't know.
Yeah. The happy fruit, the Jubilees. Yeah. So they're eating these. I think they're probably they're kind of like pink star fruits.
Yeah.
They look like a weird kind of like shape with a lot of ridges, kind of like a green pepper, only a little bit sharper.
And maybe it's the nut specifically that you have to do something with in order to process it.
Yeah.
Like it's like a big nut in there or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, totally.
I
It's the seeds. It's
I
it's
hate
totally-
myself
it's
that
totally
my first thought went to you have to lick it.
No. But yeah.
I hate my life. I hate it.
Henley, I love that idea. I love that it's actually the seeds. If you crush up the pit, right? The pit of them.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
very good, and I'm sorry I ruined it.
This-
Never ruin anything. You're the best.
Thank you.
So yeah.
Listen,
yeah, totally.
I mean,
Pirates.
there was. You got to think about history of everything, right? There was one guy who was like, "I'm just going to lick everything and see what happens," right?
True.
So there was one guy that licked everything at least once. So don't worry about it too much. There was someone that would have licked like I don't know some pepper and been like, that's not bad. Another person licked some like
Someone licks
sour
salt.
milk. You know, like it's like, wow, that milk looks disgusting. I'm gonna see if I can lick it, see what happens.
The best part about licking sour milk, Henley, is that like you don't even throw it away. Instead, you left it around and it became cheese. Like, and then they licked it again, and they're like, "This is pretty good."
So the Polish people were actually like a bit of bread and just a jug of sour milk, and they're just like, that's my lunch. And it's like it's fucking weird. Anyway,
All right. Yeah. Okay. So that's where we're at. Yeah. So they're just gonna eat some of the fruit and just hang out. Take a little bit of a rest. I imagine this is kind of like a good time for a short rest if anyone needs, right? But like, and just kind of like talk amongst each other. If there's anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a short rest too because I'd like to get some hit points back.
Yeah, or recover any kind of ability, depending on your class. We're not. It's not like we're staying out in the ocean next lash to the dire eel for over.
Mhm.
This is a time of some people are hauling things over, some people are relaxing, that kind of thing. The cool down, the denouement of the combat.
I think I just want to read this ledger.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that's what she's gonna do, and try to because I don't know if they would use codes or anything. That's what she wants. Like if there's like a cipher or something, she wants to figure that out.
There absolutely is a cipher. Right? There's definitely.
I'm being awkward in the captain's quarters. You know, opening a book and sniffing it, and maybe like eating a piece of paper or something like that, and being like,
"What humans? What is this?"
It's just like there's a cup with water in it, and I'm fascinated by it. Like tip it up, and I'm just like, I don't understand the purpose of this. You know, like
God.
Being a.
I mean, look it up. Tritons have to have that as a like it's just ingrained in them. They just anyway.
Mermaid. You just don't know what these things. I just don't understand.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Part of the world just plays in the distance.
The deepest lore. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So ironically, there is a cipher. You can try to break it, but you would be much better off having another ledger of somebody. So ironically, Korik's copy stuff would probably be really helpful. You can totally try on your own.
I think she tried to make sense of it first, just because that's the kind of person she is. But then she'd definitely go to court. She's not like too proud to ask for help, but that's just it's a mystery. Like she thinks that's cool. She's gonna try to break it herself first, but then she would go to court.
Totally. You definitely know that the ink that it's written in here is a special kind of ink. Like there's some sort of magic. Probably it's some sort of like security ink. So like if you do try to mess with the cipher or something like that, it could be. There's some sort of security stuff in the magical.
Okay.
You don't need to tech magic to know that. Like it's like it's got like it kind of resembles a little bit of like a galaxy. It kind of has like a nice like shimmering purple bar, kind of like a little like glitter kind of thing inside the ink.
Okay.
It
That's
comes
pretty
from,
cool.
That comes from some kind of. It probably is some sort of like water.
Is there anything in my journal that my mentor gave me that relates to it?
No, there's probably just general advice about cracking sites.
Gotcha. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, then I think she'd like walk out just holding it up. Going, Quark! Quark, where are you? Just yelling. With his leather ledger up in her hand, just waving it.
Cork hears her, and he's like eating one of the Jubilee fruits. He's like, "What? What is it? What do you want?"
She like holds it out. Don't you have something that's like this? Don't you have another one of these?
Yeah. And he pulls out of his like bag, and the papers are all like crumpled.
She just snatches it and sits down on the deck, cross-legged, and spreads them both out in front of her.
He's gonna sit right across from her, eating the fruit and like watching as she does it too.
Yeah, she's not even explaining. She's went silent and is just bent over these two books working.
So you spend a couple hours. Let's think about a skill that would be. It's probably investigate, right?
I would say.
Or is it? Do you have particular tools that you have that?
I mean, I don't have any tools.
Yeah, like a cipher.
Well, I mean, you can make a basic tools roll. It's just if like, what is it? It's just a straight D20 plus whatever. A normal tool roll is a D20 plus whatever skill you associate with that tool. If you don't have the tool proficiencies or the tools to use, then you don't get a bonus associated with it. But in a lot of cases, if you have like doing a cipher, for example, would be a tool roll, but you need to you would probably be like a wisdom check, but without the proficiency bonus because you don't have the tools with you. So,
right. So here's what I'm thinking. Exactly, Henley. So like building off what Henley said, I think what it is going to be is that I think it's going to be an intelligence check because you're analyzing this thing and like trying to figure out the pieces of it. But you have while you're not proficient in it, you have advantage because you have Cork's book to like cross-reference.
Okay.
That's exactly how you do it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's an 8, and that's a 19.
Okay. Cool. So you think you're really close? You're just missing a couple numbers, right? So you're spending the hours like because this is some pretty grueling work, right? That you're like really trying to figure out different parts of the
Finny
cipher.
is having the time of her life.
Yeah, like you literally missed the DC by 1 to like break. So like you're like this close to getting it. The problem is that you just don't have enough time because everyone else is like getting ready to go, and then probably at this point other people are like, yeah, like we have to go help the Triton, like, as promised, and you're like, oh, but I want to work on this so bad, but everyone's like making you have to go be a captain again. Right?
She just goes, and falls back on the deck, just lays there.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, you're like, damn it, I'm so close to this thing. I hate being a captain. This sucks. Now I have to, but I have
didn't
to go.
want this job.
Yeah, and so everyone's like, all right, sails away, and we're going out here, and who takes the helm? Who actually helms the ship? Like who has the wheel?
Wouldn't it be Boschko?
I think Bajko might be the best one for that.
I think technically it's Boschko.
Okay.
That's what he was learning.
Yeah, that's what Boschko was learning. I thought so.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna modify some of the roles here because some people who are way more smart about naval things have commented to me about like helmsman is a thing, and like quartermaster and bosun and stuff, and what they so like this will all get kind of revised a little bit in terms of roles. So don't feel like you are.
I've been following the drama.
Don't feel like you have been press ganged into
Haven't I, though?
into a role yet. Like these will probably adjust a little. The idea of being on a ship, these are the things that you do and you have little bonuses and responsibility. So yeah, okay. So it's about 11:40 now. So like I feel pretty comfortable that we should probably just call it today, and then tomorrow we raid on the Sahagwin and the reclaiming of the reef. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So then thanks for everybody for being super combat heavy, super grueling testing of mass combat and things like that today. I appreciated it. I've been itching to try this stuff. I know that's not really maybe what everyone's cup of tea. I'm interested in. I'll get everyone's kind of feedback from it. Yeah, Katie, let's just go do some outros, and I want to hear your thoughts on.
Yeah, I liked it. I'm not a mass combat kind of person, but I'm not a combat person anyway, so I don't know if my thoughts are that good, but I liked it better than most mass combat I've done. Yeah. So I think that means something, right?
Yes, that does tremendously. Is that I know this isn't everyone's cup of tea. I want this to be at least bearable. I want it to be tolerable.
Yeah, I get because not everyone's gonna like everything. Totally. So no, it was better than most mass combat I've done. So I'm told I wasn't miserable doing that. So that's cool.
And I promise not to use this for like every fight must be this way. It's only kind of like important things, right? And I like normally I probably wouldn't even done these two ships as a mass combat thing, but I kind of wanted
to try it. Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, but yeah. Anyways, tell us who you are and everything.
Yeah, I'm Katie. You can find me on Twitter at KatieFace, on Twitch at KatieFace. Mondays, I'm either on Off the Table playing D&D 5e or playing Alas for the Awful Sea. Tonight, I'm over on my channel playing Masks, The Next Generation. Thursdays, I'm on Scraticus's channel playing... Oh no, tonight I'll be on Little Red Dot... Wait, is today Tuesday or Wednesday? It's Tuesday. Wednesdays, I am on Pro Starter's channel playing Deadlands in the afternoons. At night, I'm on Little Red Dot's channel playing Fate. Thursdays, I'm on Scraticus's channel running D&D 5e viewer games. I'm also on Off the Table playing Polaris, and back on my channel playing Witch Quest. Fridays, I'm either on Off the Table playing Lady Blackbird or Monster of the Week, where I'm the keeper. That's this week, and I'm so excited for it to be back. Saturdays, I'll either be playing Tales from the Loop or Ryutama on Off the Table. Also, I'm part of a actual play Monster Hearts 2 podcast that comes out every week. And then Sundays, on my channel, there's a Honey Heist campaign going on. And I am also on Phantom Role Booth, starting this Sunday, starting an Apocalypse World game I'm very excited about. But yeah, that's all. I say that like that's not 50 million things.
You literally have all of the games all of the time, and I love it so much. And you're also, I saw on Twitter, you're starting an Inspector's game at some point.
Yeah, that'll be on Mondays. I have a game every day of the week.
That's lovely. I used to do that before the war.
I don't know how I'm doing it. Very poorly.
It's insanity, and that's how you're doing it, through insanity.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, thank you, Katie. And I appreciate, I love you. I love how much you do for gaming, how happy you make everyone feel a lot of different games, and you run also a lot of cool different system stuff, and I always appreciate that. Totally biased, but I love it when people run cool.
Yeah, me too.
Cool. Dempsey.
Yeah. I'm Dempsey. You can find me at DempseyDMC on Twitter. I don't really have anything to plug, but I really like the mass combat system today. I've played Stars Without Number before, so I was like somewhat familiar with what we were doing. So it was a nice throwback to a couple years ago when we beat Stars Without Number.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Henley.
Hey everyone, my name's Dave or Henley. I'm a former full-time partnered streamer on Twitch, but now I just do whatever. if you want, you can go check out all of the archives that I have of all the role playing content I've done. It's like 4,000 plus hours or something like that. I recently heard from the publisher of the Cyberpunk role playing game that we have the longest running Cyberpunk 2020 campaign on YouTube, which is a strange thing to be proud of because that game is so old and so old that it kind of turns away a lot of people who play it. So kind of proud of that fact. But I also am a publisher. If you want to go check out the video games that I release, the last one we released on Steam is called Apparition. It is a paranormal investigation game. So that's how you can support me these days. But other than that, thanks for watching.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. I reached out to you, I know, like 3 weeks ago to be like, hey, come on, play this game. And then we had to cancel for 2 weeks. And I was like, I'm so sorry. But yeah.
That's all right. I completely forgot who my character was in that time. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot. And I really
So it
feel,
goes.
yeah, like I had so much I wanted to do to prepare you for it. And then like just time got away. And you did an amazing job coming onto the show today. So we'll see you next time too.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kelsa. I play role-playing games on the internet. When I'm not here, you can find me on my own channel. I'm playing a game of Polaris. Actually, the last session of our game of Polaris is going to be on Thursday. We're going to be moving over some other small-time games on my channel, and I think the night of the week is changing. But I really enjoy this game. I get to play more D&D in my home game tonight. And that's gonna be really nice. And I'm in a lot of D&D games right now, which is really weird for me since I usually play not D&D.
Kelsa, you and me both.
Right? Yeah. So follow me on Twitter at Kelsa, Twitch and YouTube. It's Kelsa Delphi, all one word. Yeah, I play a bunch of different role-playing games. On my YouTube, you can see both shows that I have hosted on my own channel and links to many, but not quite all because I've been on a lot of stuff and I have not properly organized everything yet. Some of the other shows that I've been on, I try to send links to those too, so you can find me in all the places that I've been. But that is an ongoing project.
It's a lot, especially for you. Like yeah, a lot of games everywhere.
Not as many as some people, and not as many as I used to be, but still a lot.
And then, thank you. Catchy nose. Okay, and then that leaves me. I'm Eric. Been your Dungeon Master, host for Savage Tide. We'll be back next week to continue the reclaiming of the reef, the grief at the reef. Episode 16, I guess. Yeah, you can find me everywhere at Eric Vulgaris. I'm also not doing as much as I used to in stream-wise. I have a lot of things like right now kind of just like getting ready to go, and just we haven't had time to for that kind of stuff. But otherwise, yeah, follow me at Eric. Get out of here. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Mage and Sage. Thank you, Greyhawk Channel, for having us back again all the time and your channel. We love it. We love you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having today. So, get out of here.